Like, I ain't got no name. Damn. Bernie fully couldn't do those jokes today.
No.
He would do them, though.
Oh, for sure. And then it would just be like buried. Underground.
But it would play to his favor, wouldn't it? Like, he would... Because people don't care for real, right? People don't really be offended, do they?
For stand-up, yeah. But I think you could definitely get off doing like whatever you want to do in your own sector. Like you could probably have a whole pod and all kind of shit.
and just talk to your people.
Like just talk to your people.
Yeah.
Question. So why do people look at stand-up comedians differently than they do actors? Right? Because you could be acting in a movie and do a joke about something that's not favorable, and people say, "Oh, he's acting." But a comedian, essentially, they may tell a story, but it may be embellished. But if they say something wrong, now they like, "Oh, no, you can't say that."
I think it has to do with the call and response though, because it's immediate. So you get an immediate reaction when you get to do like stand up or whatever. Like if you're doing a special, then yeah, you might get that separation. But like doing stand up, you would literally get people that are what are they like offended right there in the crowd. But you got to talk to them people though. Like you might as well just like address the fact that they offended at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like what's the point in like?
What did Poe ask us about Baby Boy? It fucked my whole world up. What did he say? Like I'll never watch Baby Boy again. That's ruined.
What was her name? What the other one was like the responsible.
Oh yeah. The Twitter going around was the chick that was trying to steal Jody from Yvette was like she had her own apartment, no kids, no nigga in jail that was about to come kill her. Like she was trying to save that king.
Wasn't knocking no little man sports over.
She was trying to save that king, and Jody just didn't see it. Yvette was really the toxic one. She had too much shit going on. And you're like, damn, I see that.
She did. I hate you until she loved you. That's a mind fucking song, man. Jody was screwed up in the head after that, man. Who knows? I doubt that was the first time she did that.
Hell no, it wasn't the first.
All right, y'all stop. We're not starting this shit. This is going to. Now, you know what, Hub, to your question, though, I think I've always been sort of confused by the amount of responsibility we're willing to hold rappers and comedians to. And the president could fully be out here, and I'm grabbing pussies for real. It's a weird sort of thing. And the collective conscience is like, you should be more responsible in your rap songs, but not in your political speech. Like, bro, that's nuts. So,
but that comes down to like people have always held celebrities on a pedestal. So like, they created that separation. So therefore, they feel like it's just a little different now, though. Because, like, you have so much access. So, like, people are literally, they can at you and feel like they're talking directly to you. And people respond because folks done said something wild to them through a phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's kind of weird. Is that you lost your own separation from people. You know what I mean? When you started to engage. You could literally just disregard whatever somebody said and let the next thing happen. Like Joe Bell was talking about with the whole like nigga, I just was quiet and then I know how the internet works, so nigga, eventually it's gonna switch over.
Overreact.
It's gonna switch over to another person and then I can go on about my business.
Yeah. But it's how do you manage it from not reacting to the highs and the lows, right? Because the praise comes and you're like, oh shit, I'm lit. It's one thing to be trending to be lit. It's a whole other thing to be trending because
you ain't shit.
It's surviving R. Kelly, nigga. Like that's crazy.
I think but that comes down to like whatever your experiences have been to that point. Because if you didn't had a hell of a time inside the lows, then there's no way in the world that once you become high that
you're not celebrate. Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna celebrate or whatever, but it doesn't like if somebody tries to bring you back down, I mean, you've already experienced that. So like it doesn't hit you as hard. People that got like a random high, something that they don't know what that was that ran it up.
They can't reverse engineer it, figure it out, yeah.
Like once somebody brings that down, they really think that's a personal shot. When like, man, you don't understand. Like I'm listening to Kevin Hart's audiobook.
Which
the latest one. The one that goes through like his like entire life or whatever.
Uh,
But basically, what he was just was breaking down was just like the early part of his days where like he was Kevin Hart, but he wasn't Kevin Hart.
yeah.
So like the amount of times that folks were just like, sit down, shut up, stupid. You know what I mean? Like the amount of times that people put that nigga down over and over and over.
Being
and over
around
again.
Patrice and Bill Burr like set him up to be able to handle.
But
Patrice was whooping his
prior
ass.
to Patrice and Bill Burr, like it was just like comics, local comics, and like the crowds, the local crowds, you know, like doing very small sets, doing sets for food, doing shit for $5, $20. You know, like the amount of work that goes in. Same thing with Chappelle. The amount of stuff that you encounter. By the time you get up, Chappelle can disregard $50 million because like.
I was gonna be
my
doing it,
sanity's more
nigga. I
important.
was doing it for food. I think that's the thing, because everybody been like, "How's it feel? How's it feel?" It's like, fam, I was gonna be doing this shit like whether niggas was tapped in or not. Niggas was gonna be right here. Hey, bro, y'all ready to pop today? It don't matter, man. And that's the thing too. It's like, does it feel different? It's like, nah, bro. This shit don't mean nothing, because once you even start to play into it, everything you were in it for becomes compromised, right? And the only thing that matters is this, like, it's a community, like it expands, and then it's 5 of us in here with 5 different visions and passions, and we all can plug in to each other's system and be like, bro, what you need? What time you hit me on what day was that? Wednesday? Monday? What day we shoot the REEF shit?
Shit. Thursday?
Thursday. What time did you hit me though?
8:30 in the morning. It was
Like, hey, bro,
8:30.
emergency.
Yeah.
Bet, nigga. Like, it's to have that luxury to, one, have you feel comfortable enough to hit me, and then me be able to, like, this is what I do. So anything that's not pertaining to creativity, like, can get nixed. Like, I was going to a dinner. Like, I didn't want to go. Like, gotta work today. And it's the perfect out every time, you know? And it's like, what else? What the fuck else would we be doing if it wasn't like creating all the time? Was that Monday we got together? Sheesh. So last week started out nuts, by the way. Before we got guests and shit. Let's hold on. It's Meet the Brave podcast. Today's episode is powered by Northwest Pizza and Pasta, where if you think the pizza is good, try hands down the best wings in the valley. Nobody, and I mean nobody, does wings like NWP. Order online right now for takeout, delivery, or you can pull up because they're operating at 50% capacity. I talked to Morg this week, and he told me I got a few days to get my shit together because the Apple Watch challenges is coming, and every day I get an alert this nigga's in the gym. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. Shout out Morg, shout out Northwest Pizza. Make sure y'all tap in and tell them Meet the Brave podcast sent you. Today's episode is powered by the REEF Studios, black-owned studio in the heart of downtown Oakland, where we specialize in multi-tracking, audiobook, podcast recording, you name it, it can be done. And Lex Bub is also helping create another show live from the REEF. Do you stop, bro? What's wrong with you? What the fuck you got going on?
Nah.
No, it ain't stopping. Shout out OG Jaren for putting that together. Justin and his whole squad, they just finished the record. They came in here and did one. Passwords has one in the books. Jane Hancock has one in the books. Look out for Live from the REEF coming very, very soon. But for your studio needs, hit the Instagram page, DM for all inquiries, and we can figure out how to make it work. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Uplifters, black-owned domino company. But more than that, just tapped in with the culture and bringing people together and producing amazing, amazing content. Our brother Alexius Franklin is executive producer on the Winning Formula show, and we'll actually get into that today. I had the honor of being the first guest on there, and the guests have been amazing. We got another guest on the show today, too, that was on there. Shout out Hub.
Time out.
Uh-oh.
Is all 3 executive producers in the building?
Oh,
Shit.
Is it time to flex real quick?
Winning Formula in the building, bro. That's crazy to have y'all here, and every week we talk about it at the beginning, and the fact that's tight. That's awesome. Shout out to Uplifters, Winning Formula. Make sure you tap in. And last but not least, today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Let's Bubble Production. Our brother Alexius Franklin, all things visual and storytelling, you name it, can be done, and he's got a whole bunch of dope shit coming up that we still can't talk about, and it's weird, but any of your video needs, and if you want to make your shit look as fly as Uplifters looks, as fly as Meet the Brave looks, things Grand National looks, you tap in with Let's Bubble Productions and can make it happen. With that being said, let's start the show. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I'm Monty Draper.
I am LG.
Lex B-U-B.
And we got two special guests in here, two family members, man. Hub, Jonel, family, what's going on with y'all? Executive producers of the Winning Formula show. My brothers, thanks for being here today.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Absolutely. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna turn y'all mics up real quick.
I just piggybacked off a hub. I was just trying to just come say what's up. So this is dope just to be in the building with y'all again.
Yeah, man. No, I feel official. Like I like to have that executive producer. I still today I don't really know what that means. I just come help us. You know what I'm saying? And I got a comma behind my name now with executive producer. But no, man. I wanted to come in today, man. I was telling Jonel earlier. Kind of see some of the stuff that Lex does, but just be in the room, man, and just feel like the aura and how y'all bounce stuff off each other. And I don't know, man. Lately, I just been listening to content. To just
It's
be,
like rabbit hole, right?
yeah, it's just to just really decipher and dig in deep to what, like, try to figure out what's going on in their mind while they're talking. So I just wanted to be here to figure out how you guys operate and. Yeah, man, just be a fly on the wall with a mic in front of his face.
That's dope you say that. Same, just content, and then traveling a lot these last few weeks. And then something about being in a hotel room alone for a hella days is like really rewarding because you get to tap in with shit just like passively, right? And so I thought I was gonna like it, but I didn't know that I was gonna love the I Am Athlete show as much as I do now.
Yeah.
They've carved out a really, really unique space. B. Marsh is a superhero. Well, I know he had his moment of getting roasted, but I really love what he's attempting to do, the feat that he's attempting in the worlds he's trying to force to intersect. Because they already do, but it takes such a specific person to speak about it. People who have achieved those levels of success. I think Elle does a really good job at that, of just intersecting the thought of the person who's obviously the athlete but has so much more to offer and is cultured in a way that's just so unique to them because of where their passion took them, the heights that it took them to, the depths that it took them to, the sort of introspectiveness you have to have, especially if you hit a low, you can call it that, if you hit a low or a discovery point, the way that both B. Marshall and L hit. They had the what's bro that wrote Moonlight. Not Barry Jenkins, but the other bro that actually wrote it. I don't know why I can't think of his name. But they had him on there. Our homie from This Is Us.
Sterling K9.
Sterling
K Brown.
Sterling Brown.
Yeah.
And then all
That
of
was
the
great.
all of the actors from their new show, the second season of their new show on the OWN network. And I can't think of that either. But they were having a conversation about occupying that particular space and going, it's only a few of us. You go,
Terrell
yes,
McCartney.
yes, Terrell. Bruh, they're having a conversation about meeting each other at, it was either Cannes or some film festival, and going, holy shit, like it's literally just a few of us. Like, we gotta be partners for real. And then just exchanged information and stayed in touch and continued to exchange ideas, but the safe space. And we're talking. I can't remember what production we were on just recently, and it went so smooth. The production went smooth, and then we turned our deliverables in like the very next day. And they're like, "Wait, how'd y'all do that?" It's like it's an all black crew. Like we know what the cool is. Like, hey, bro, go film that, please. Let's go do that. And these companies want to replicate it, but they don't know how to quantify those variables, you know? And so to see, the executive producer credit, nigga, they've been operating under that autonomy for years. Do it. You don't have to know what it means, because they don't. That shit could mean anything, bro. It could literally mean anything. Run it up and leverage that credit on something much bigger. And then when Lex is able to leverage it, he can call the four of us and pull up and give us those same titles, and we can just do whatever it is it takes to complete the mission. I'm finding so much comfort in that. Agency to agency, watching the white boys just bust down the money and do the same thing, but go, yeah, I don't fucking know what it means. Like none of them do, but they're ultimately trying to be able to replicate what it is we just naturally do. And it just, we spoke about it this on Jonel and I met on Monday, because we were doing that during the pandemic, just getting together, busting down, talking about ideas, working through things, and just being one another's soundboard. And it's just so easy because culturally, he's so tapped in, and as a true friend, knows where my interests are and what the end goal for the vision is. Like, bro, you should probably be thinking about this. You should be looking at this. What about this? Have you talked to this person? And then literally just sitting there. How many different people did we talk to that morning, bro? It was
Started, yeah, it was 5, at least 6.
It just came up and was like, yo, and it was on the tail end of the Juneteenth shit. Juneteenth was nuts. At the lake and then back at Black Girl Greenhouse, just the amount of love that was circulating, even in the midst of tragedy. Like, it was a lot of fly shit that took place, and just putting a lot of the people who need to be in the same room to make things go. So much to unpack, bro. We lot to talk about. We missed last week. I don't know about y'all, nigga. I got pressed in the streets this week. I don't want to feel like that no more. So I'm sorry to my co-host.
They wasn't giving you a follow date out?
No. Hey, shut up. Stop playing with me. Man. So L disrespectful. He goes, we texted like, yo, y'all cool, we take well, I'm texting like, yo, y'all cool, we take tomorrow off. They like, yeah, it's good, man. And then Father's Day is the next day. So, hey, happy Father's Day, Lex. Monty, you got some surprise news for us? Hey, fam, look here. No, hell to the no.
Hey, my man was adamant about making, giving us a break, man. I thought he had to mold some things over. He had to put some things in play. Shuffle some things around.
I didn't even think about that. It's like, damn, yeah, we might be over there. And then
I know Monty calculated and all, so I know if you got a super rollout or what do you have going on,
bro. We had
OVO Monty.
We had we had our
You never know what
goddaughters.
Monty got up his sleeve.
We had a little Adonis.
We had our goddaughters. We had our goddaughters on Sunday, and the baby Bean decided to wake up at 4:30, and just was like, "Yeah, I'm only going to sleep if you holding me, bro." Like, so what we doing? And then the Kendall and Kayla woke up at 7, and then Team finally woke up and he was like, look who finally decided to wake up. It's like, bro, why do kids talk to you like that? Who y'all think y'all are? What? It's 7 in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. That's yep.
Yeah, straight shoot it.
Look who finally decided to wake
Especially
up.
little girls. Like, little girls will straight shoot the fuck out of you.
Went to yeah, that was a beautiful shout out Dill Neek. We got to spend a lot of time with the girls this past weekend. Yeah, man. Hit Denver, LA, played Kev's record for a lot of different rooms. That was pretty wild. Everybody's taking the Travis, Mike Dean, Steez, and putting fucking arena PAs in the smallest rooms that they don't belong in. I think I was bleeding from my chest a few times. Like, I know my eardrums were bleeding, but internally I think I was dying, bro. Like, I was suffocating at one point. The music was so loud, and I love loud music. Never again do I want to be in a 8x8 room with PA speakers, though. And a sub, by the way. The sub was there too. But if you can stomach it and not die, it's a hell of an experience, and your mixes get exposed in the best of ways, and you figure out what to tweak and shit. Glad to report that Kev's record sounds good on fucking PA system in an 8x8 prison cell. So, it was fucking awesome, man. Shout out to everybody down there. Fran, Two Fly, Fortunate. Bruh, have y'all ever met well, I feel like you guys have, but he was a kid, maybe 19. All the hope in the world in his eyes still. Like, but it reminded me of Triple X. Like, his music, it's very melodic, emotional, but clear, and just energy. And he's just so, like, just mad personable, look in your eye and just hold a conversation. You like, oh, I want you. You're my favorite artist now. Like, shout out to Fortunate, bro. I text you that immediately the next day. It was like, this nigga, he just got it. He's just a star already, but he has that kind of like, just happy to be here, guys. And it's like, nah, fam. If anybody gets to act like the weirdo artist, it's you. I told Raj that too. After watching Raj at Black Girl Greenhouse, it's like, hey man, you could damn near do the Michael Jackson like elusive thing now, right? And he's like, nah. I'm like, but you could. And everybody would make excuses for you. Be like, it's Raj. And he's talented, but I think it's something about cats from the Bay that they're gonna always stay tapped in and kind of keep them humble. And it informed their music so much too. Rogers' new shit, that Lockheed Martin shit, him and Sal dropped this week was like,
I called Sal just to say, like, hey nigga, you did your thing.
Yeah.
did your thing, man.
I see you out here, nigga.
He went live for the premiere and on YouTube, and I knew he had already posted about moms, but to hear him speak candidly and like so personally with his fans and open up about his mom and like everything he went through, it's one of the strongest people I know, and getting to witness his strength through that was really really just life altering, and it got me to thinking about the concept of love, especially in like not the dynamics we normally think about love in, right, where it's like your lady or your significant other, but loving a family member or a friend or someone you really, really, truly love through anything. And the amount of self-work that's required in that space. I've spoken about my pops a lot on the show, so it's no secret, his bout with his personal stuff. But I also happen to spend a lot of time around some really exceptional people that have lost their parents in the last few months. And they've all had the spectrum of how they handle it is all so unique and specific to their circumstances. But it really was an eye opener to be so close to a Raj. Shout out Dame Drummer, losing Papa Ted over Christmas, like fucking Christmas Eve, and going, damn, you really can be in control of how you interact with them and how you choose to spend your days, and it really had me land at the like, yo, it feels dismissive to call it immaturity, but it is a level of immaturity when you just kind of worry about yourself in that moment and not go, damn, that person is really, really going through something. And because of seeing this movie play and seeing how the demons torment folks, and it's like, damn, I wish my last encounters with them were different or not wrapped in harboring anger and feelings and all that shit. And it's like, God damn, bro, like, but then you go, why is so much required of me in this moment of like grief or processing? It's like, it's just how life works sometimes, though. I wrote about that on the way back from. Oh no! So yeah, from Denver straight to LA. From LA on the way back from LA here, I just kept thinking about it because my dad literally called me on the hour every hour. And then eventually I was like, bro, what do you want? And then I was like, oh, no, this is tight. This is him, like, reaching. This is his olive branch to just say tapped in. It was like, oh, okay. But it was like one of those, like real-time game moments where everything slows down and you're like, oh, nigga, I see it for real. And I can honestly say I didn't see it before because he literally, and he was asking the same question, too. So it's like, bro, what do you want? And then I was like, oh, okay. Good looking out, guy. You looking out for the kid. Like, get it right. Like, don't be immature. And maybe those aren't the right words, but it's kind of in honor of watching some of my closest partners grieve their parents and handle it with fucking grace too. Just Raj, like, he kind of shut everything down to be around with moms, and like nothing was going to supersede that time. It taught me. I learned a lot in the process. So salute to them, man. And the Drum album, like, just the how fearless the music is, you know, and
Shelly,
Shelly. Yeah, shout out. My bad, Drum. I know it's just Shelly now.
formerly known.
Formerly known. But it's a lot of artists doing that, but it's a lot of black artists taking on that responsibility to talk about grief and processing. And I was back. I'm jumping, but the I Am Athlete podcast. That's what they were talking about with Terrell and Sterling and that crew. The networks were telling them that black men don't watch TV, so they don't put those shows on there. And they're like, well, the only time black men can relate to anything on TV is when Sports Center is on or football is on. So they do watch TV. There just isn't enough representation. So they're not watching TV. And Brandon Marshall's like, yeah, because our YouTube algorithm is nuts. And black men definitely watch things where they feel represented at. And the through line of the new show that that's on OWN is
Could you imagine black men trying to watch Big Bang Theory?
that's what they're asking us to do. It's like go identify with something in that realm.
Friends, like some of those whitewash shows.
Come on,
just
man.
Like, the comedy doesn't connect you
At
know?
all.
Not at all.
It's going over heads, and also it's not funny. You know what I mean? Like it's not that type of humor.
Yeah. The through line of their new show is I mastered the art of surviving but never learned how to live for black men. And no one's ever addressed that. I'm King Finesser. I know how to survive, but living is a whole nother feat. And it wasn't until I heard them say that I was like, holy shit. Is this just survival? Is this hustle that we've sort of normalized? Is that just the art of surviving? And yeah, it's not living.
Well, it's messed up because if you have the luxury of getting past survival, then you automatically get inserted with survivor's guilt. Like it automatically kicks in.
So there's a stage before you can even get to living. You
real,
gotta.
for real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got
because you can't take everyone with you, and that's probably the hardest thing for people that have lived in survival for so long. The hardest thing to get over once you get out of survival is like trying to figure out how do I continue to elevate and take as many with me without ending up right back where I started off at. You know what I mean? And that amount of time in between, like you wrestle with yourself so much. You know, that takes a lot of time. You know, so that's why there isn't like much at least in our community, a lot of the like generational wealth, because you have to get past that first level, and then once you get past that first level, you get hit with so much to learn about. Like, oh fuck, like I gotta learn, I gotta make, and then I also gotta teach and bring and pull along as well, all at once. And it's like, nigga, I only got maybe 75, 80, 85, 90 years of my time to do that. So I have to get to the teaching at some point. But I have to do that with immediate and hope, you know, because some people are set in their ways. So how the fuck am I going to expand that out? Yeah. You know, and it's a tussle, you know? So, like, that's why we're so big on, like, the community thing. But, yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the stage to try to get past is that survival skill.
Then it got me to thinking about it's been the most insane run for music in a really long time, and as a just a sheer fan,
For sure.
I just
2021 is going to be deadly.
I wake up every day and just go, take me on one title, like just go for it, and then that Apple's billing is hella funny, so they'll either bill you like right away or on Friday, and you're like, wait a minute, I spent that much on music. And along with having all the streaming services, it's hilarious. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
I mean, that's okay vice to have, man.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up until
could be
y'all
worse,
justify it. Until somebody justified it, go, it's okay. It's like, bruh, that's crazy.
That addiction, I wouldn't be too mad at. That's right in line with what you do and all that, so that's fine.
But Tyler, call me if you get lost. The living part of it. I don't. So, as a fan, I get really excited for a Tyler release, and then as a artist, like once I listen to the album and go, yeah, this album of the year, no question. I can do that on first listen for him for so many reasons, just because he represents so much. But then on the other side of it, by like right around like listen 4, I get really sad. And it only happens for Tyler and Kendrick. Anybody else? It's them two mainly because I've been to their biggest shows, and it ain't no black people there. And but they're rapping about living. The shows we're at, them niggas are mastering survival and talking about the finesse and the flex, and it's relatable. So few of us have gotten to live. It's easier to go, Tyler might be gay. And I'm not going. Like, it's so much easier to just do that. It's easier to go, oh, Frank Ocean gay, I ain't going to that. It's like, wait, bro, what? Yeah. They are literally making they're the embodiment of liberation. Yeah. And they're so few of their demo is us. Like, I know us in this room, we're tapped in and listened to it, but the To Pimp a Butterfly shows at the Fox, I was looking around, I was like, wait, what is going on in here? Yeah. Not Cherry Bomb, but for Igor.
Igor, yep.
At the Civic Center. What is going on? Yeah. And you're listening to like this new one, the Master Joint, like the who else is that? Who else is this for? You know,
they'll say that, why do you go to them for, like, where are they at during certain times? They do this their entire career.
That's what
he's complete. They're both completely free, like, and each project is the stage of the life that they're in. When I think about like where Kendrick has been, from Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly, coming out of the cocoon, and then feeling liberated to make Damn and all the projects. And then you think about Tyler, like, what if he's just fluid as a human being, which makes his music so fluid? And so, fuck the sexual orientation. This dude is just living completely into who he is. And that's what you're getting as outputs of music.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even if he isn't like fluid like sexually, but if he was actually just a fluid thinker, and just allowing himself to be, without anything holding him back, which is beautiful, you know what I'm saying, then that helps out, especially in creativity, but as a human being as well. Yeah. So I just like the idea of leaving LA and going elsewhere, you know what I mean, and having the opportunity to go out there and see other things and feel other things and be around other people. Yeah. Like, I think that's a dope thing in itself, and that's something that, unfortunately, most of the people that have like the opinions about things and shit on things and stuff like that haven't had the luxury to do and aren't even thinking about doing. They're happy with what they've accomplished in their immediate situation, so which makes them very confident in what they say. You know what I mean? So they ain't got to hear about what other people feel or think about because they're set in their ways on the small amount of scope that they have.
The Juneteenth was just one of those days I'll never forget for so many reasons. But the spectrum of emotions. Young man, Deshaun, whose life was taken at the lake, immediately, black folks, white folks, you name it, all across the spectrum, was like, what happened? Where is he from? Was he in a gang? Excuse me? how does any of that matter? Like, genuinely, please answer that for me, how any of that matters. It don't? Cool. Shut the fuck up. Like, I was... Hey, that didn't happen on our side of the lake. Nigga, it happened. Somebody got murdered, and there was no cooperation to, like, help see that through. But we'll get into that. Shout out my brother Brookfield Deuce. He made the most beautiful point. He's like, chances are Deshaun's never left the Bay. And chances are the person that killed him has never left the Bay. Right. And I was like, wait a minute.
And they're sprinkled in there with everyone.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, damn. Because I know hella people that have never left the Bay, and it never dawned on me, like, to L's point, just getting to travel and see some other shit. It's like, brother, the just the opportunity. Fuck, even if it's just LA, even if it's just Seattle, let alone getting out of the country, the amount of perspective that offers someone who thinks that life doesn't exist outside of this bubble is so hard to stomach. And that we just normalize it and go, yeah, man, I ain't never I ain't never been nowhere before. It's like, oh, you definitely don't value your own life, let alone somebody else's. So you have no problem killing somebody in a sea of 20,000 people. You have no problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people that haven't been outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's scary in itself because, like, if you ain't been outside your comfort zone, then it's hard to, like, commingle. You know what I mean? Like, it's very tough, like, in those type of situations, because, you know, you get into these arguments and they escalate due to sheer openness to a new idea. You know what I mean? So it makes it very difficult to get into them in the first place because, you know, we're over here dealing with two different mental capacities that aren't matching.
Yeah.
You know, and that's unfortunate to me. That it's very unfortunate to me that was the outcome from I don't know the full scope of things. I don't know the full scope of what took place. But for it to escalate to that level in the midst of the supposed day that it's on and the supposed crowd that it's around and what the message is supposed to be, you know what I mean? Amongst all of that in the atmosphere, for that to be the outcome, is you know, it's very unfortunate, you know.
Yeah, y'all watch the House of Cards?
Yeah. You saw another season?
I lived it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And take House of Cards and take the most diabolical episode where Frank is finessing everybody.
Yes.
Times it by 10, and you might get close to the shit that we experienced this past week.
Okay.
Juneteenth happens. Everybody is feeling away. On either side of the spectrum, they either had a blast or they were immersed enough to go, bruh, somebody died. Or they had business on the line and got to go, oh shit, we got to say something. And you know what, this isn't, because it's not about smoke. It's just about conversation. Everybody got it wrong. Everybody got it wrong. But I'm not a fucking politician. What am I gonna say? It's like, nah, y'all gotta say something. I'm like, wait, what? We gotta say something.
That was inside the crew, or that was outside?
Inside the crew.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, well, it ain't gonna look like everybody else's, because God bless his soul and big love to the family. But it honestly didn't hit me until everybody made those shitty statements. And I went, oh, they don't fuck with us at all. Our life is truly disposable. It's like somebody died.
Yeah. they want the culture, but as soon as it becomes negative, they want to distance themselves from
as-
everything that represents that.
As far as possible and as quickly as possible.
Yep.
I'm like, oh no. It's not. This is not what we're building. This is not what we're building. So we make our statement, and immediately are contacted by every outlet you can think of. And I'm like, now I'm really shook. It's like, now what are you supposed to do? I watch House of Cards. I know it ain't as simple as that. I know something's going on. All right, bet. I still don't see the play. Cool. Hey, y'all. Y'all statement was really powerful. We're having a visual in collaboration with the family. Can y'all pull up and read your statement? Oh, bet, because we've been trying to get in touch with the family, so cool. Get there. It's a visual. Ain't no way it's starting on time, right? And it's black. It ain't starting on time, right? That motherfucker was on time. They were in full stride. Okay. Moving kind of fast, but hey, still, it's early. We fine. The sun's out. Candlelight visual. It's gonna make sense at some point. Every news camera is there.
Yeah. No lie. Every news camera was there. Folks is getting interviewed while people are speaking.
I'm like, okay. Still nothing to panic about though yet.
They love that shit.
Still,
They love that shit.
but it's still no reason to panic. G, this is okay. We can navigate this. Now the speakers start going. White lady that represents the church in Piedmont. Just want to show solidarity with y'all. Y'all, hey, whatever y'all need, fam. You say y'all one more time. Your church is right there. Fuck you mean, y'all? This happened where you lived at too. But okay, cool. Still nothing to worry about. They find the most perfect. When I say perfect, they found the most perfect pastor to play the role to deliver an awesome speech. I mean awesome, performance-wise.
What time?
What?
Mr. Clock.
What time? The clock say it. Now, all right, you know what?
That wasn't it.
He's not lying, man. He's
Okay.
not lying. He's not lying.
Music, all the shit. And at some point, Kariga looks at me and goes, have they said anything about the family yet? I'm like, I was just thinking the same thing. Deuce taps my shoulder and go, hey, bro, I've been here the whole time. They ain't said nothing about the family yet. Kev is behind Deuce and goes, family? Like, I look at Jonel, he goes, no, I don't think they said nothing about the family. So our whole crew was going, wait a minute. Then we start looking 2 hours ago, and we had already been at this spot for an hour. So an hour in between the vigil and the Chronicle finally released Deshaun's name. So the family hadn't even been notified yet. So like, oh. But mind you, they packing this shit up. They getting ready to leave. They shutting down. And we're going, hey, where's the family? Like, oh, y'all here? Y'all want to speak? Like, no. We want to talk to the family. No, but do y'all want to speak? No. You don't know where the family at? You don't. Oh no, we didn't. So nobody's talked to the family, and y'all having a vigil in the name of who? And eventually, what we're watching is this is about budget and monies. What had just got announced the week before?
So ballots went out. Ballots are due on June 20th. Mail-in ballots are due, but the whole budget with the defunding of the police, those were all initiatives that were being passed as bills in the measures in the city. So it became a platform for political campaigns.
And everybody showed up in name of that. We can't have this attached to our property value. It's higher than this. Hey, look here. Hey, there was an isolated incident. What are y'all talking about?
Eat that shit up.
And I mean, everybody showed up to make sure they got their little piece of coin protected. Not a single soul mentioned the family, y'all. I've never been so disgusted in my life. And I was only disgusted at myself for being so disgusted and being surprised. It's like, because we sit up here and do the show, and part of me goes, we're doing the show. I do believe the shit that I say, but it can't be as bad as I'm making it up in my mind. And you go, no, it's worse.
Yeah. It was performative. That was how I would describe it.
Yep.
It was in order to make us look like community, we need to do something in the name of this man's life as a prop.
Yep. And you go, oh, this is how sinister this is. So when you're doing it the way that we're doing it, and everybody culturally, because of the currency we hold together is so high right now. Everybody wants a piece, and now we gotta, because for the most part, as we've formed, the vetting process been, Lex, you good. You came with Jonel, you straight. You came with G, I got no questions. Nigga, now we gotta vet people that look like us. The Judas and the Black Messiah shit, you're watching the movie and you're like, no way one person no way Bill O'Neill exists. And you go, oh no. It's more plausible than you can even think, especially with the way the movie unfolded. You're like, oh.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It felt like a playbook. Like they knew exactly what you needed to have. We need to have this musician, this artist, this person here. They need to be visible on camera.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was scripted.
Yeah.
It was scripted for us to look crazy.
Yeah.
It is a playbook. It's the same playbook motherfuckers been running for years. All they do is gotta update little things.
But there was nothing human, and you're right. It's been for years, and there's nothing humanizing about it. The death was dehumanized. Us as a people are dehumanized in that, and we all walked away like, damn, what did I just watch? I was dumbfounded, but also we had that conversation, and in having that conversation, time passed, and by the grace of God, we got to meet the family.
No, literally. The cameras, everybody had packed up, and we're still sitting there huddled up trying to go, what just happened? And somebody in the crew, shout out Rue, David Michael, he's like, I think one of the homies found the GoFundMe, but I'm not sure. Let me double check. He sent a text, sent it to the group thread. We're reading through the description, and Deuce goes, I went to school with the person who had organized the GoFundMe. And you're like, wait, what? And then he said that, and literally a minute and a half later, she appeared. And went, Deuce? He's like, we were just looking for you. Like, literally just looking for you. And she's like, bruh, this shit's sick. Ain't nobody call us, ain't nobody do nothing. The whole family is here. And they were just pulling up. They got Deshaun's baby. I'm like, oh, my God. And it was, I just never seen nothing like it.
Mm-mm.
And so for the whole week, been trying to process and unpack, see, like getting confirmation. It's one thing to go, bro, you see it, it's hella far removed. It's a whole nother thing to be in it for real. Like literally be the centerpiece, the disposable piece that's being leveraged for everybody's initiatives that don't have shit to do with black people at all. Seeing his son looked just as confused as we were. It's like, wait, what's going on? Like, bro, where my dad at? Like, I know, I see what y'all got going on, but where's my dad?
Yo.
It's like,
That's what blew my mind was this happened on Juneteenth. Next day is Father's Day. This is going to be a part of his story for the rest of his life. This is who I lost. The man that created me is no longer here, and I'm going to have to live that.
and all people had to ask was he in a gang? Fam. And then you go, okay, so we can move the goalposts for the value of our lives at no problem. And I'm not talking about everybody else doing it. I'm talking about us. It was black people going, yo, what y'all know about him? And what? What do I know about him? He was murdered. No, you need a little bit more. I was like, oh, fuck. All right, here we go. To be, and it all ties in the strangest of ways, right? So we're in Denver, and I'm like, this is just really beautiful. Our cousins opened another business, and I just the bandwidth and the time, like I really didn't have it to go, but it was such a big deal. It was like, yo, let me figure out how to make this play work, just to show up and go, yo, I'm proud of you. You guys inspire me. Bet. So make that happen. Only to then go to LA, and we go to LA. We got to play Kev's record for Too Short, for crying out loud. Short was the first. Short and Zach. Shout out Zach. Zach put the play together. We got to play it at the compound. That sound system is nuts, by the way. We play it. Well, yeah. So when you're moving down here, I was like, wait, what? Like, nah, man, we building this in the Bay. And Short just had this look of disappointment. It's like, all right. we go to the next studio. Jay Ant, shout out Jay Ant and Laren, that whole squad, play it for them. Yeah, man. So y'all don't need to go back. Like, you should stay here. They're like, Kev goes, but the kids he's like, nigga, they got school districts out here. It's like, nah, man, we got to go back. The very next day, we run into, shout out Jane's working. Jane has a room at Raphael's spot at Blakesley. And he's leaving. He's pulling in as we're getting ready to leave. So we stop and talk. And we just end up in that conversation. Like, when did you decide to leave? And he's just like, it took a long time. Because things were still happening. But there was a ceiling on things in the Bay. He's like, every single room here is full. It's like, I couldn't keep people in the studio in the Bay. He's like, it was really disheartening. I was like, damn. He's like, so when y'all moving? It's like, I'm at that space where I can't tell if it's ego and going like, no, we're gonna make it work. We're making it work. Or if that's foolishness and we're gonna hit our head on the ceiling. Literally, I'm having this discussion the beginning of the week, only to get here, have the shit happen at Juneteenth, and go and have all of those conversations be validated and confirmed in some way. It was really sad. It was that shit really made me sad. It was like, why? I mean, granted, the same politics exists there. I'm not acting like they don't, but it wasn't so much the politics of the liberals and the whiteness. It was us. And I'm just like, oh shit. And again, to act like those things don't go together and building infrastructure and talking about economics, like, hey man, that was a money play. So if that's how inexpensive our lives are, is for a ballot right there. At that time, go, oh, Brett just died. That's perfect. Luke, roll that right into this rollout. He's like, oh damn, how the fuck are we gonna infiltrate schools then? That's really the play. Like, we want to be tapped in with the youth for real. But if that's the type of sinister shit y'all got going on, y'all for sure not about to let us in those schools no time soon. So it was just one of those things that was just one on top of another, and you're just like, bro, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Bro, they thought sports teams was creating all of the chaos. So that lets you know how far behind they are. Like, they have their own agendas, bro, and it's still crazy what they were doing with the whole like homeless encampment shit.
Yeah.
Like, they had the funding for that 3 years ago, and they've just shuffled that money around into other things that they wanted to do. and that money, like, is the new person that comes into office is supposed to then have something else, and then they shuffle the money into there, so they still haven't gotten to that.
Yeah.
That is the slowest of projects that they're trying to complete right now, supposedly trying to complete right now. All while getting people hyped up about the fact that there's so many homeless people that they have to look at every single day. So whatever play they're eventually trying to do on that, because they're just piggybacking different type of plays off of that. Whatever else they got going on is, you know what I mean? But like this all shit, everything, all this shit is chess, man. Like every last thing that you come across is chess. So the Bay is no different than that. Northern California, no different. Southern California, all of California. California might have the most chess moves that you could possibly have, given just the amount of wealth that's out here. You know, like it's a lot of different moves. So like, you know, it's a
To your first point where you talked about exposure, where you mentioned, you know, I guarantee you neither one of them may have left the Bay. When I first moved out here, I'm driving from Dallas to Oakland. First conversation with anybody from Oakland, I pull up to a gas station, like, "Hey man, what's going on in San Francisco tonight?" "Oh no, I don't go over there." I'm like, man, this is. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm like, this is exactly what somebody in Jackson, Mississippi would say.
Yeah.
And I was, and it just, you know, because we talk a lot about just exposure. Like, if you're not exposing anything, you don't know anything else. And then to your point about, you know, the political game, Jackson, Mississippi, bro, Mississippi might be up there with California. I've got homies that are lobbyists that could be doing it from anywhere, D.C., wherever. They won't leave Mississippi because Mississippi is one of those places where they don't put a cap on how much you could, you know, pay for a dinner. Right? It's certain states, like I want to say California, it's $50 or something like that. Not Mississippi.
Ain't no cap.
I can spend whatever I want to on a political. So the play is the playbook is everywhere.
The playbook is everywhere.
And it's a game with inside the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like we got our own internal things that we working through. Then the city got its own internal things that it's working through. Then the state got its own.
Yeah.
I mean, crews got their own internal things that they working through. Like we all are dealing with it, and there's just the politics of it all.
Yeah.
And they know, like they don't have to study like, you know, the minorities issues that they have. Like they don't have to know each and every one that they have. What they need to know is, as a collective, what are the issues? And they damn near survey people, like groups of people, in order to find out this information, in order to then monetize it. You know what I mean? So like it's as a group, how do you act? As a group of sheep, how do you react to things?
Hey.
You know, as opposed to each individual, as a collective, what is your overall issues? And then we can maneuver from there. You know, we can corral y'all from there.
If you whisper it like your man's, it don't count though.
I did it.
This nigga Joe Biden is losing his fucking mind, bro. This shit is crazy.
Bro. That's how you been moving though. My man been moving as a whisper though.
What's the
like all the work that he's been doing?
What's the people on YouTube that do the whisper shit and eating on the camera? What's that called? ASMR or whatever?
Yeah, something like that.
I ain't even hip.
It's you've seen that shit. Don't
Yeah,
don't make me feel like a freak. Are you kidding me?
They like crinkle things on the mic, and then they like make all this different like.
And then slurp it, eating fucking the mukbang. You ever seen those?
Yeah, I seen those.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Folks be getting off to that.
Don't whisper to me, bro. For real. Don't whisper to me. I'm not listening to this. Bro, he is out here for him and Gavin. What is going on?
Gavin's about to catch that 2-piece. Brett downtown wasn't playing that, boy. Like he tried to hit him with the regular handshake. He was about to catch his life, boy. Gavin thought black people fucked with him for real, boy. He found out that day. That wasn't even a representative. It was just a cat off the street. My nigga don't know nothing about politics. He just thought that was a white man that had a lot of cameras around him. About to take this nigga head off.
I mean, are we surprised? Are we surprised? And then is there any? Because I just I don't want to feel like we could be bought that cheap. But when at what point does it become all right, bro? Y'all ain't never satisfied. I just all of Gavin's plays just feel nasty to me. I got to be honest. And I'm cool with being alone on it. I'm genuinely asking the room, like, help me if I'm missing something, y'all.
Yeah. I think you and I having that conversation on Monday really made it clear that whatever standards or principles I choose to live by, the opposition may not live by them, but I'm going to continue to move and operate in that flow because that's what's most important here. Like, really, can you look at yourself in the mirror every single day? And just to move with that level of focus and discipline and to connect with people that are moving and operating in that same light is all that matters now. Because opposition is going to continue to do. And we can continue to play the game, and that game is tied to so many things that y'all bring up on this show around ego and toxic behavior and things and trauma that people have not resolved. That's what that game is meant to feed off of. Can we start to play the game different? And I think what I love about the Bay, because, and more importantly, Oakland and the folks that we connect with in the city and all around the Bay, is that we've always moved to a different rhythm that the rest of the world ends up taking heed to and following. And we need to tap back into that. So, while it may feel difficult to move in a space where it feels like the rest of the world, there are still folks like us that are doing things and are willing to connect and willing to debrief and willing to work through whatever issues we have in order to make sure that Oakland remains a thought leader in terms of that integrity and that standard. But it's hella hard work, and you got to do the work.
You got to do the work.
So,
Gotta do the work.
Got to do the work. G, you had an interesting encounter, I think, or maybe that's not from real experience, or maybe it is, but the having your likeness leveraged.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is a great, I'm glad we got extra people in the group today. So.
you got OnlyFans?
Hey, yeah, man. My everyday life, man. Everyday life.
L got an OnlyFans. He just read novels on there. no shirt on, drinking a cappuccino. Hey, y'all know L go on at 7 tonight.
Very important, man. Spoken word. But have y'all come across your name being used without your presence involved? Step further. Has someone created narratives in order to seem closer to you and or closer to those they are speaking to? So kind of let y'all mull that one over. Yes.
My story's sick as shit.
Yeah.
Like, this was like a month and a half ago. Somebody that I knew from high school reached out to a female that went to the church that I grew up in. He then goes to say, "Oh, we're best friends. When his brother died, I was there. I consoled him and his mom.
Damn.
I helped set up the funeral."
Damn.
So she's like,
twisted.
"This nigga don't know that, like, my family and your family is close. And all I had to do was call your mom to get your number." So she called me just to see how he was as a guy because she thinking, oh, they're super close. And I'm like, nah, none of that happened. I was like, yeah, we went to high school together and we was cool. But honestly, he was a grade higher than me. And I was more cool with his sister because me and her were always in the same grade. But as far as him, we didn't kick it like that. And he for sure wasn't there when my brother passed. And he was not there. And he had nothing to do with the funeral. And she was like, so why did the nigga lie? I said, I don't know, but hey, what you decide to do with that info, I said, I'm not here to speak on another man, but as far as the shit that has to do with my brother and all that shit's out of pocket. That's how the conversation ended. So when you said that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just came up to me because it's just like, just trying to go over the whole concept of someone, like just the thought process that someone has to be in to create an entire narrative off the back of someone else in order to be closer to someone else that they're speaking to. You know, and then like how many times does this come across? Like how many times does this happen? You know, like is this like a play for up in a body count? Is this like a play for having like creating a story that separates you from the story, so therefore you seem like you're getting closer to somebody, but really the only connection that y'all have is this embodiment? You know, like I'm trying to figure out just like what the mentality is, because it was just a weird thing to come across, because I guess 'cause my mind doesn't work that way, but it playing out, and you know, and then like fuck, okay,
How much do you? I'm asking. It's a silly question, but I gotta ask it. So, y'all, the room, pardon me. How much do each of you, if you do at all, how much value do you think a relationship with you is worth? Does that make sense? Did I ask that right?
yes.
So to the point to where someone would stoop to those lengths to make up a story like that. Do you think a relationship with you holds enough value for someone to absolutely just make up that story?
No.
Well, of course you wouldn't. Don't you dare say no. You don't think so either?
Nah, I'm finding just the amount of depths that people can go to in order to be associated. So I didn't really pay attention to it before because I wasn't so tapped into me as an individual and my accolades and things that I could come, like things about myself, you know. So I wouldn't think about that. But in like this deep dive of self and outer body experiences and stuff like that, and separating yourself from self, you start to now map out, and like now you catch that, as opposed to like having to think back and be like, oh, this person, you're not really gonna deep dive and think about what somebody did or whatever. But if it's happening in the moment, you're like, somebody's telling a story and they're putting themselves in the protagonist role in front of you. And it's like, that's fucking wild, because you know damn well that is not how that transpired. None of that shit is true. I'm here. I am present.
So
that wasn't your part of the story.
You like, fam, if I wasn't here, you could probably get that off, but I'm here today.
My nigga, I am here, bro.
So
like,
do you call them in that situation, or do you have that Leon and Saint conversation separate so that, we really knew what happened, but I'm not just gonna call you in right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Like I think my thing is that if I start to learn also how much respect I actually have for people, and like how much respect I don't have for other people. You know what I mean? So like that can happen for this particular individual, but that can happen, and my respect has diminished over time. So like now, if it was a transpire, it's just like, that's funny. Because, like, we know that that's not... Like, I know. I don't know if you know at this point, because you probably said this so many different times that it's probably true to you now.
It's the truth now.
You know what I mean? But to me, that's not truth. But also, I can't be around people that do shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's something that you start to learn about. It's just about as far as circles go. It's like that's tough. That's definitely a person that's gonna be like, not exactly you arms length away like you were. You're actually not even. You're damn near not even in the vicinity, due to, for one, that's pathological. And then for two, you might need to be separated from me in order to start getting your own stories. Like your own narrative. You have to start creating your own narrative. You know what I mean? Like it can't be off the back of myself because for one, later on in life, when shit is up, you can't be having stragglers. You know what I mean? You can't have folks just here just to for the benefit.
How are each of you accepting that reality? I fought it for so long. I had mentors say it, people that I respect, people that I look up to that have achieved some of the things that I'm hoping to achieve. Say that and go, there's part of you that goes, it's gonna be different for me. And it ain't. You really got to dead a lot of shit and a lot of things and a lot of folks for you to ascend the way that you want to. What stage are each of you at with that like sort of acceptance of that particular reality?
Want to go?
Yeah, I think I'm working through it still.
Yeah.
I think if anybody that comes to me with need for help or support, I'm always down. But I'm realizing that can be to my detriment, and so I'm starting to really become focused on keeping the inner circle tight. But it's hard because I think it kind of stems back to what Elle was saying in terms of just the survivor's guilt of wanting to help others, but recognizing that in doing so, you're giving up a piece of yourself. And so that comes with putting value on what it is I'm creating and in service of the people that are also looking to create that. So it's a process, really getting aligned with that methodology of like, this is how I'm gonna move now. Like it's not having everybody a part of it, but the people that are key to that, I'm gonna keep them around.
I think to go back to the first question, one of y'all asked. I'm paying attention. I knew the question came from this guy.
It was on his couch.
Yeah. Somebody on the couch asked, like, do you think? Do you think people see, or what do you think people see the value? Do you
know that? Do you deem your value high enough, essentially, for people to start doing shit like that? Essentially, is what I was trying to ask.
All right.
I didn't answer that question.
All right, I'm not going. I don't want to say I conceded, but yes, and I think everybody in this room, to some extent, there are people. Right. Even if you don't want to like recognize it, you do see yourself. All right, I've got people that look at me and say, I need to know that person, and I mean, I think there is a value. Or I've established myself as a person of good character, someone people can count on, like the way I move, the expertise I've built. I feel like people want to say, man, I know Hub. Or like they pull up to an event, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there are people out there, and the more you go up, the more people are gonna come out and say, I know him, right? Even if they don't know you.
Yeah.
So I do think, and maybe, my audience isn't as big as it's going to get, but if there's one person out there, then there's one person out there. I think that. Oh, and then to the point to where having to separate yourself or say, hey, I gotta move away from it. I struggle with it too, because he'll tell you, like, we'll pull up to an event, and if it's black on, I'm buying it. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm supporting. My homeboy called me in the middle of the night and be like, hey, man, I need you to XYZ. I'm like, all right, I'll pull up. But I do have to. I'm getting to the point now to where I'm becoming more focused on what I need for myself, and so that doesn't involve everyone else, and starting to shift that time back to me. And then when you start to put a value on your time, that kind of helps.
It weeds a lot of folks out.
Yeah.
Hey, it costs this. My overhead just to turn these fucking lights on is what it costs. You fucking with me?
Yeah.
Oh, Playboy,
With the set yesterday.
The sets yesterday.
Yeah.
Bro asked me, "Oh, can we get a set?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got them in the trunk."
Yeah.
How much? Gave him the number. He's like, "Oof." Yeah, I got it today. I was like,
And
he's like, "Y'all deliver? You ship?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I know I'm not getting nothing from you right now."
But it's a perfect example, bro. When we were getting ready to do the rollout for the Dominoes, we're sitting at the. What holiday would that have been around?
That was
Thanksgiving?
That was like Easter.
Yeah, it was
something
right
like
before
that.
Easter. It was like March, yeah.
Something like that, right? So we sitting down, G. We had teen folks, and I brought them out. They're like, "Oh, these,
Oh, you're right.
well, these fire. These, oh man, oh yeah. I gotta get some. We about to drop them. Oh, bet. Teen mom goes, tell them how much they about to cost. I was like, oh, they gonna be 200. 200? You young niggas, that's what's wrong with you young niggas. Y'all don't need to understand. That's why you ain't gonna sell none. I said, all right, bet. They seen the commercial.
My nigga hit you with the cat call reaction.
No, for real. Fuck you then, bitch. I didn't want to talk to you no way. Got it. They see the commercial, like, God damn, this is fire. And then the next week, after we had sold them, was like, yeah, we sold out. You did what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't, and again, to the not taking the highs and the lows, because they was just praising them. We playing, kicking their ass too, by the way. Just want to point that out. It was whooping their ass. They did not like that. Don't be the boyfriend and pull up on the uncles and kick their ass at Domino's. The shit does not go well.
Yeah. Because what is their position now?
Exactly, So they having a time in their
I
life.
can't whoop you. I can't whoop you in these dominoes.
I'm gonna buy all these sets. Y'all ain't know.
Nobody gonna be playing dominoes.
But how many kids, like black kids, got ideas and shit, and they're like, yo, I want to do this, and they got to make decisions based on money because somebody's projecting fear, telling me what you can't do.
Yeah.
There's all kind of resources to get shit done.
Yeah.
And that's part of coming together, being like, all right, bro, I got this, you got that, bet we're gonna do it. We're not gonna not do it. The one thing I want, I'll go just for my immediate family, my niece. I look at her, and before she could like talk, she still can't talk. She can sing though. She'll just start singing. Like, oh, that doesn't mean she won't do music, but let's say whatever you need. I refuse to have a 17-year-old River making financial decisions because she's terrified and has trauma around her conversations with money with her parents. You're 17. You don't know shit. Filling out college applications is hard enough, let alone making financial decisions on your own. And then you make a hasty decision, and then don't go find out that there are all kind of grants and loans to support what you want to do. That was me. My man said, hey, come up, just come kick it for a month, come work out with me and shit, all the shit. I go up there, nigga, had a blast. Hey, money, you can probably walk on. Nigga, that sound like money. I ain't doing it. Fam, you can go find, I could have went and found that bread.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear. So ideas, opportunities, experiences. DC trip in 7th grade. So many kids was like, the only reason I got to go, because it skips every year. It's an 8th grade trip. So many of the 8th graders, families was like, nah, we ain't do it. I know my mama didn't have, she was like, hey, you going to DC. We gonna pick, my mama was trapping. It's like, no, you're going to experience this.
Yeah.
Should change my life. At Thomas Jefferson, I was mad at him. I wanted to break everything in there. This nigga got slaves. Little mulatto babies on the wall. I said, "Oh, this nigga's a freak." He had a trap door from his bedroom to the slave quarters. You fucking freak, you! I should break this shit. I remember having that thought, like, "Oh, bro, you can't ruin the Monticello Museum. You be the one. It would be you too."
Is that the one that has the lead away to like where the kitchen's at? Like
Yes.
the kitchen's underground or some
Yep,
shit?
yep. His estate is crazy. If you watch Hound the Hog, they visit
They
there.
fucking died.
They visit Monticello because he was hella into like French everything, and so he one of the younger slave boys that was more than likely one of his kids. He would take with him on his trips to France, and like made him study French culinary arts and infused that with what he was already perfecting on the plantation already. So French fries or mac and cheese and shit like that. Like it was just an infusion of everything he was learning from the French cuisine and brought back to having the scraps. And it's like, you fucking geniuses, you. Black people are amazing, man. Are absolutely amazing. Yeah.
I guess real quick to go back to you asking that question. The reason I say no is because I still
No to what?
would some
The question that keeps changing.
yeah
Did it change? It changed?
No. You said it one way.
Yeah, I said it one way.
You about to figure it out now.
like I guess somebody using my name or
Your value.
the value of me, and I think I'm still not realizing my full value yet because I'm so much in the thick of shit
Yeah.
that I'm not paying attention to everything else around me.
Your stock rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're full speed ahead, but didn't see yet that folks are like around you. They want to see like, okay, like what are you doing? Okay, like, and they have like these inputs and like try to figure out like these little things, and then they might say something to you as if they've been doing this for 1,000 years now, and like you'd be like, no.
So we're back. We're back to survival versus living, though. Is that a survival tactic to go, nigga? I'm in it, so I'm not doing this value shit with y'all.
I think
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I think you're learning to do it as you fly, right? Like this, like creating value. Y'all said $200. That validated for me that I could elevate my product.
Yep.
I needed someone to help validate that for me, and that's why I'm so thankful to Grand National and the collaboration. Is like, oh, this is validating all the things that I think in my head that I'm not willing to pull the trigger on. And people are starting to see it. So yeah, I recognize that people see the value in what we're doing and what I'm doing and what we're all doing together. But I'm starting to really learn how to live into it.
So it's two different words we've been using, right? Somebody who looks at that set and thinks it's too high, what they gonna say? It costs too much.
Yeah.
Right? But for us, what's the value? Right? You go to an auction, they don't ever say this picture cost, right? They say
Value.
the value
That's
starts
that.
at, right? Because it's so much more goes into the value,
Yeah.
right?
So is that just the learning and the language and how to, like we've been having those discussions so much because it's like, yo, what do you identify as?
Money relationships too.
Huh? Say more, G, please.
Like people's relationships with money would say a lot about like what they're willing to spend on something.
Yeah.
So like if they're in the mindset that they have to hold on to money and they have to hoard it and you can't put it into a bank because they're gonna do whatever with it, so they got it in their mattress or they got it in a shoebox somewhere or tucked off into a drawer, then they're hoarding money. They're not allowing it to work for them. With the idea of money, you have to put it out in order for more to come in, because it changes your relationship with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, the value of things, yeah, is very fucking important, but that's just a mental tweak. The same thing is like not giving away your money, but having your money have a meaning on what you give it to it. That's important to you to pass it along because more is coming back. But if you're just hoarding it and keeping it tight to the chest, yeah, you got that, but guess what? You ain't got nothing. That's all. That's what you got. Like, I know what you have.
Yeah.
Like if you got 100,000 at your crib, but it's just at your crib, guess what? You only got 100,000. That's what you have. That's your value. And then whatever you could put back in, whatever you could bring in from there, but it ain't working. It ain't doing nothing for you. And then guess what? If there was a fire at your crib, you no longer have 100,000. You are back to zero.
Zero.
Well, if you had a extreme case of rats, and they bit through a few dollars, you know what I mean? Guess what? Your value is now going down. You know what I mean? Like it's pieces of paper like that. That's the value on it. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a lot of it has to do with the relationship with it.
And shout out to y'all for not discounting the set or dropping the price. I talking to my cousin. She does art, and she said art is one of those things where over time it always goes up. She said an important part about selling your art and people who buy your art, like, why would I buy your art and ask for a discount? You're gonna get more valuable over time, right? But if you're at X 10 years from now and I say, hey, can I get it at 10%? Right now I'm devaluing what I'm buying from you. And so when I go to value it at a later date, because you reset the price on it for asking for a discount, now what you invested in is worth less than what it could have been if you had paid what it was worth, what the value of it was at that time. So, we had this conversation a lot of time because when Buddy mentioned that about, the set too high, we talked about, I was like, if he gonna get it, he gonna get it. But don't drop your value and reset yourself.
I could tell y'all who ain't dropping their value. Rick Ross is a genius. Nigga, thighs at Wingstop.
Rose.
I cried. I shed a tear. Thighs at Wingstop, y'all. You don't understand.
Thighstop.com.
Come on. A lemon pepper thigh? Okay.
You was waiting for the
No.
thigh? You was waiting for the thigh to come out?
Come on, man. Come on, man. The mango habanero thigh, fam. All right, y'all.
No, that's
Y'all,
your.
man, all right. Y'all
Monty new name is Thigh High the Prince.
That is how many?
Thigh High.
I seen the rollout, and I was just like, "Oh, fam is genius for real." And then I read the book too. Reading Ross's book is hilarious. Just because it fits. It's right on brand with everything that he's morphed into, and as he keeps adding, you like, oh, none of this surprised me because I read the book. You are exactly who I thought you are. I read the book to get confirmation, and then you keep delivering, and I'm like, okay, you are exactly who we thought you are. His sit down with Guap Dad I thought was fucking hilarious. But I don't know, just especially with music and creativity. We talked about Tyler already. Her new record.
Amazing.
Just watching creatives fully get in a bag and dictate where this money is gonna go, how it's gonna be dispersed, how it's gonna be branded, how it's gonna be discussed, the language. I love that you was like, yo, we're using two different words right now. Cost and value is two different things. And that education is really, really important when you see Ross. He's a franchisee in Wingstop and he's running it. How many is he at? 70 now?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's probably less than 300 of those places. So the fact that he's got 70 of them is pretty nuts. Huh. I don't know. Just looking at it from a business standpoint, scaling, branding. It's really because we had these conversations all the time, and how to do it, how to speak to the consumer, how to connect, knowing the demo. It's funny, but it's like, nigga, you got me. I'm definitely going. What time we done with this? You got to time it right. You got to time it so you're not waiting. You got to order it. You got to order it so you can do it on your way home. Hit your groceries, and then your last stop is your thighs.
I be trying to time shit around my grocery shopping all the time.
Facts. What? I
all the time. Like I want to spend a certain amount of time at the grocery store, so I gotta have the food already ready for me when I go by and pick that shit.
That's crazy.
I might have switched up. I don't need you judging me right now. I need your support. I have not set foot in a Trader Joe's in 2 months.
What?
Big Sprouts boys over here.
Big
Sprouts boys.
Man made a transition.
I did. It's just closer.
Okay.
It's a beautiful walk. Could smoke on your way there, and then. But that's the only thing too, because I used to do it on the way, because Target and Safeway are next to each other in Alameda. So by the time I got high on the way there, my high was in a perfect place to like stay focused and get. But I'm smoking all the way to Sprouts. So by the time I get in there, I'm like, nigga, I need everything. Completely forgetting I gotta walk back with that shit. And it's like, oh, okay, here we go.
Just take one of their carts.
You know what? I didn't think about that. I can bring it back.
You can bring it back.
Coming back. For real, bro. You know I'll be back. You know what, Money? You right. You will be back.
Can we acknowledge that everybody here goes to the grocery store and then go get food to eat?
That's what I was thinking
after
about,
they leave the
bro.
grocery store.
Yeah, this wasn't for today.
Look at me tired.
There's a level of prep that's
Wait a minute. You want me to shop and cook? Oh, you wow.
That's
Relax.
wild, bro.
Relax. That shit took everything out.
I mean, shout out to the folks that could do it. Like that ain't on my.
Nah.
I ain't got the bandwidth for that.
Oh, man.
Best believe I'm not. Anything I'm cooking, I am not eating that shit out like at any point throughout the time that. Once that shit's over with, that shit's probably about to cool down and go in the fridge. I know the ate, bro. That shit tomorrow.
That shit took too long. I'm getting better with the concept of time. And so it's making all these Olympic trials and everything like really, really fascinating. Fam, how fast is a fucking 10-second 100-meter dash? Like how fast is that?
It's pretty fucking fast
Yeah.
because what Bolt is.
9-7.
Yeah, Bolt is fucking. So
It just looks so dynamic. But throw the actual time out of it. Seeing it,
Bruh.
is it Sha'Carri?
Sha'Carri Richardson. Yeah.
She's like a bullet, bro.
Yeah,
the cold
man.
part is that she don't get off the block fast.
No, it's this catch-up that she got
Yeah,
on
like
everybody.
It's
like
a
her.
snatch. It's
Like when she gets to her top speed, it's like no
Yo,
way.
it's like you watch the progression of that 10 seconds. It's all at a trajectory where she's just blasting by everybody. But it starts low, like you said.
It starts real. It's off. You know what I mean? But if she ever got that part down, then who knows what the hell that fucking number is? Because she also takes time to like let everybody else know that I'm beating your ass. Right?
yeah.
You know, like I fuck with the mentality, man. Like
Big steez, just the drip, everything. It just, I don't know, man. It feels dope to representation in spaces. I know more Sha'Carri's than I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just tight. It's like, oh damn, I could. Especially with athletic women, the narrative has been you got to look a certain. The MJ's rollout with his new announcement of the WNBA players that are Team Jordan now. That shoot was fly as fuck, and the women in there were dressed to the nine, and like it's like it just doesn't have to be one or the like. You could be whatever you want, show up as you are.
WNBA players are some of the better dressed people on
By far,
like
by far.
Their drip is a little different.
Their Bleacher Report does the tunnel walk, and the NBA's is tight. Like you see some crazy outfits, but it's only a handful of the NBA players that dress well. The WNBA players all dress fucking phenomenally. That's
without a stylist, because them contracts ain't really stylish. You don't really got the stylish budget in those contracts yet.
Did we have some of the men's times too?
Yeah, we had Trayvon Bromell is for something else too. Like his shit is 9.84, and it wasn't even like. I don't think that's the fastest he's ever clocked. Like in like his practice and stuff like that. So like there's more to be on that. So he's pretty tough too. I think he's probably like 92 or something.
9'8". Goodness gracious.
And then Justin Gatlin, man, still out
Justin
here.
Gatlin's not still running.
Still out here, bro. At 39,
No
my
way.
man had
The
that
Vince Carter at
993,
track and
bro.
field.
A 9'9".
99, man. He in the Olympics again.
Wow.
You know, this is after all the the doping stuff and trying to keep up with boats and all kind of stuff. He didn't have a career, but he said he just got out there so that his kid can know, can see his father in the Olympics. That was pretty fucking dope.
That's
Get
beautiful.
out there at 39 because I was like, man, I
He's
ran
39?
against my
He's 39?
39.
Wow, he really is the Vince Carter of track and field.
Bro, he was moving, so I'm like, bro, because I when I saw that, I was like, bro, I'm 34, and like, when I raced Dave,
That was the funniest shit ever.
I raced Dave, and I was like, bro, I got you, bro. Like, didn't do no stretching,
No stretching. Niggas have been drinking all day.
bro. Fresh off, man, was lined up, man, going uphill, by the way. It's got to slant up to a cul-de-sac, so we just out here just booking it. So I'm moving, I'm out of here. That's I feel a whole pop in the right leg. So oh shit. So I slow down a little bit. Left leg halfway pop. I'm like, oh shit.
But wait, he's such a sicko. He didn't stop. He refused to lose the race. I'm like, hey, sir, I seen you pull up. You can stop. Nope, I ain't quitting. Dave fully was like, yeah, bro, you got it. Like, Dave saw how fast L got off. It was like, oh, he's serious. But it was a whole day of challenging each other, like dice games, pool table.
The challenge game is different.
Go karts, and then it finally got to racing, and then everybody else went, all right, now y'all wow. These two like, nah, we racing. So
No, that's after the whole pool scene of everybody get pushed to the pool and like there's got custom J's on that it's only one
it's
on one.
one-on-one.
That shit went in the pool, bro. So it's just like, hey, yeah. So we got up out of there to do that race, but hey, the way I pulled up on Tyler was like, hey man, so you got anything in your crib that's like a rapper or anything? Like, I did that shit hella close so nobody can hear me. He was like, I might have some tape in here. I don't know. I don't really pull hamstrings at my crib.
Oh man, the way I don't know if y'all seen it, but the way Shad Moss was up there Harlem shaking, that nigga looked like he tore a hamstring yesterday for surely. Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy versus might be the highlight of the year, yo. I ain't gonna hold you,
Bro, Bow Wow getting out of shape at his size is hilarious. Like that little nigga should always be in shape. Bro.
Oh my god,
That's
Yo.
the one thing you got going for you, my man.
why is? Please tell me these not the two funniest niggas on the planet, bro. Did y'all see? Bow Wow and Ray J going to Breakfast Club was already hilarious.
Yes, that was.
Them going on IG Live together was I cried laughing so hard.
Hey, you gotta shout out to Ray J's growth though, because last time there was the whole Fabulous thing. So like, that's a lot of growth for the Fabulous story.
He picked up a marble red habit along the way.
Along the way, Charlamagne was like, "Wait, what are you doing? What do you got cigarettes for?" Who just started smoking? But in fairness, Ray J has been in the industry for hella long. So if anyone smokes cigarettes, it's him and Macaulay Culkin for sure. Like they just been doing it for way too long.
Yeah, bro's made for TV though.
Did you have predictions going into it?
Of them?
Yeah. Don't do Soulja like that. Don't do.
I think
Drake like
Soulja was
that.
going to win just based off of personality.
No music.
But music, yeah, he got hits, man.
Yeah,
He
what'd
really
you have?
do.
I had Soulja.
Okay.
Because I figured he was going to use some of the shit he produced, too.
Okay, but I'm so used to being around people that had Bow Wow winning.
Nah, Bow Wow held some songs like he got a round 2 in them. You didn't get to the pole in the basement.
Okay, L style.
So Bow might go up against Rick Ross next, bro. Like, they both held out, for
That is
another
a
round.
many Bow Wow record to pull. So you was one of the ones that had Bow Wow winning too.
Bro, Soulja played the same song 4 times.
Don't do Soulja like that. Don't do Draco like that.
Bro, like
Don't do Big Draco like
she
that.
make a clap hat. He played every remix he got.
He was saving it just for those days.
What? Nah, so I fuck with Big Draco, man. I don't know what they did as far as like viewership wise, but I'm pretty sure it was gone.
Yeah, it didn't. And nobody cared, bro. They just wanted to see the spectacle. The music part really didn't matter.
That's what's up.
Not even a little bit. That's
So they're doing those as like full performances now.
yeah.
Like, they'll
Now,
be on,
now,
like, the
now that they
stage
got
and,
people
like,
that
they
can
have
attend.
the-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
I got it. I don't have it lasting very much longer unless they can land a big name. But starting your 2 performances with Swiss and Timbaland and then Soulja and Bow Wow is a cry for help, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know how much longer this goes.
At least they saw it at the time they did.
Trina and Eve are happening soon. Is that
No,
what's
that
Oh, it
already
happened
happened.
already.
Oh shit! See,
Yeah.
I didn't care. How'd that one go?
That was good, even though they were in the same building.
Yeah, because she was in London.
Yeah,
Oh, Eve does live in London now, huh?
yeah. So she was.
Eve out of here. Eve ain't coming back.
That one happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened like Father's Day weekend.
Oh yeah, I definitely missed that.
Eve hit her lick and get the
How
fuck
what?
up out of here.
Who won? Do we know?
I'll put it like this: everybody thought Eve was gonna wash Trina.
Hell no.
A lot
What?
of people thought that.
Yeah, people thought that. And then,
Trina came through.
Wait,
because people didn't realize how many features Trina has.
for sure.
People didn't realize how many hits Trina had.
Off top, I'm picking Trina in that one. Eve, maybe 3 rounds. Her hits, her mega hits. That's all I got for you. I can't even do 20 songs for Eve. That's crazy.
Yeah, I see the downfall for verses being that artists haven't done the best with like keeping themselves like physically together.
Hell. Stop being PC. Just say it. It won't be body shaming.
So I just don't see like the OGs coming back in and being like, I'm gonna be performing in front of this crowd after not doing anything for like the last 15, 20 years. Like I could do that shit back when it was on camera when we sit down in front of a Zoom call. But now you telling me to go up on stage and y'all
That's
get to
not-
see me after this song?
That's not how artists work.
How this work?
Like Trick Daddy. Get online and say anything. Beyonce can't sing. No way.
What trick that is?
Beyonce is Jay-Z. Jay-Z can't rap. He only the man because Biggie died. Nigga, what are you?
What's Trick Daddy got coming out, man?
His restaurant.
His restaurant.
That wasn't the way.
A new secret.
You don't do that.
A new secret menu.
You don't do that shit with the Beehive though.
Yeah,
He ain't scared.
He tried to walk it back.
Did he?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
No,
Like-
the Beehive got to them reviews.
Yeah, they
Oh,
got
that's what it
to
was.
him. They got
to
him.
his Yelp
He tried to
reviews.
walk it
What?
back.
That nigga had a negative one, boy.
They said the
He had a negative star.
He got a negative star, bro.
Whoa.
They went in there and gave him the wildest reviews.
That is funny. That is hilarious.
My food had mold in it, and then hit him with the and that shit got hella bees in the back. Bro, they was in there wilding, bro. I got stung by a bee when I was in there, bro. They was in there
and
wilding.
Trick really is a legend, though. That's what's crazy. It's like, bro, you could. That's fine. You could totally have that conversation by yourself, like, but don't say it publicly. The Beehive don't play.
Trick a Florida nigga, man. Like, you know, them niggas, they do what they want, man. They're never leaving that area. Trick is Miami to the fullest, so he's not leaving that area. So it doesn't matter like what goes on outside of that area to him.
Being from Mississippi. Well, wait. This is a great conversation to have, because in my mind, everywhere else, we were talking about it the other day, like hoods in general. You couldn't tell me it was a place more hood than East Oakland. Every summer at his house, would be like, bro, this is like even like I'm coming from Richmond, going, this is crazy. What is this over here?
It's up there.
So I'm going
until you hit the country.
I'm going, nigga. We went to Cleveland. I said, oh my god. Then you hit Detroit. You like, yo, this is crazy.
That's how I felt about St. Louis, bro. I felt like I was in St. Louis like, yeah, when is our game and when we get the fuck out of here? Like,
So
St.
that's
Louis look ghosts. Like, besides that, whatever the hell they show up at.
the St. Louis Arc.
Yeah, besides that thing, nigga, that shit looks like the zombie apocalypse. Shout out to the St. Louis though. That wasn't like a shot at y'all. That's literally-
No. It's not a shot. It's just as you mature, you travel. hood to hood. We went to our family union for grandma shit in Arkansas, Fayetteville, and a Magnolia and Little Rock. And you're like, bruh, never seen no shit like this. This is. See, I didn't know Seattle had a hood.
Yeah.
Seattle niggas is
Seattle
with
for
the
sure
shit.
got a hood. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Earl and them is from. That's why I connected with Earl like that. We was that motherfucker wild around all them white folks.
So I don't even know what the question was no more. But like Miami, not even just Miami is an interesting place because as you think of South Beach, you think of all that shit, and it's like, nah, bro, this is Liberty City, this Dade County, this ain't.
But it's also the port for all those other like, you know, spots that ain't that developed. You know, like they came over here in order to get some, you know, get something like the American Dream or whatever. But they're all posted up right there on that port.
Yeah.
And anything goes.
The swamps and they literally lawless land. Like the idea that North Richmond is unincorporated, it's like, nah, imagine all of your shit being unincorporated. The sheriffs govern this over here, but ain't no law. Nigga, what?
Real. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel safer here than back at the crib.
I bet.
So
If I'm at the crib, I may take a picture. I won't post it till I leave.
she leave. Like,
Cats be like, "Oh, you at the crib?" I like, man, that was last week. Like growing up, my mom used to be like, "Let me know when y'all make it there safe." Now I be calling my mom, be like, "Mom, why you in them streets?" Like she's, I mean, even though she's moved to the outskirts, it's still like she still has to put up with a lot.
Explain the politics and the dynamics of a place like Mississippi. Like what? Because in my mind, it's the hood shit you worried about, but you also are worried about a level of racial politics that we're not privy to, so to speak.
Yeah, so you'll hear a lot of people say, you know, I like being in the South because if they don't like it, you'll know they don't like it.
I say that all the time. That's me.
It is true. Like, I mean, it's, you know where you can go, you know where you can't go. Even a lot of cities in the South, like, you see Atlanta popping, venture 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. You might as well be in a small town in backwood, Mississippi.
Wow.
So that the contrast between where you can go and where you can't go, like those haven't overlapped out there to the point to where if they don't still have segregated schools in small parts of Mississippi, they may have just gotten rid of them. Where what was it? Morgan Freeman paid the black students and the white students used to have separate proms up in 2000s. And he paid. He said, if y'all have it together, I'll pay for the prom. We ain't having that. We don't want your money.
Voice of God said that. He said, I'm a
And they still
integrate
said,
prom.
they still said no.
They still don't want your money.
I
So
fuck with it. Keep that same energy.
political side, like I was saying earlier, like there's no amount of money. There's no cap on the amount of money lobbyists can lobby the politicians. So that's corrupt. Man, it's almost like they've given the city over to black people. Right? Jackson is, I want to say, third as far as how dense it is with the black population.
I heard that.
I think Detroit, and then it's one more, it's New Orleans, and then Jackson may be third.
Wow.
Or something like that. And it's evident.
Yeah.
Infrastructure-wise, you could pull up a map and be like, yeah, they fucked y'all. Like just looking at how the water flows
Yeah, left you.
from the reservoir that sits above Jackson around that motherfucker. Listen, man, and I pulled it up one day and I'm just like, oh, that's crazy. They have it in their bylaws where they can lift the levees on the reservoir and flood the city if they need to keep the property value in the high valued homes that sit around the reservoir from flooding.
Take this motherfucker out though, real quick.
Yeah, it's like just hey, it's rainy season. It's rising. Go ahead and lift it. We'll flood Jackson. Keep us safe. Listen,
We might give you a heads up. Or
Yeah,
more
it's-
likely we won't.
infrastructure wise, I mean, you got the Army Corps of Engineers in Vicksburg, Mississippi, one of the top corps of engineers in the nation. They still have not figured out how to fix the infrastructure so Jackson doesn't flood every year. They took the airport from the city of Jackson. They made it a yo. This is crazy. They made it Southwest left originally. They going back. They'll be back. I think they back now, but they left. Political figures got together and say, hey, you know what? Let's make this a district or a regional airport. Let's all kind of work together for this airport. The city of Jackson gave it up. Now revenue doesn't go to Jackson. It goes to the cities around Jackson. It's that game is
Choking them
it's a
out.
cutthroat game out there. And they give them a black mayor every election, and it's always hard for them to do anything. So
That hopelessness. Universally is like it exists in some capacity and try to. I don't know. I've been thinking about that so much lately, and then as it, especially this week with it, it's like, yo, man, I remember when I just wanted to do music, and now you're making a statement. It's like, and then you asked a really great question. You're like, yo, what are some of the ways y'all deal with stress? I've been thinking about that a lot. Changing the story, telling myself like all kind of things. What do you, if anybody can answer, like what are some of the ways y'all deal? Do you even identify? Are you able to identify that you're stressed? I thought it was really the thing that got me stuck is like, because I still struggle to identify when I am stressed until something happens. I'm like, oh, I was stressed the fuck out. Are you guys able to identify it? And then what are the ways, if you are able to identify it, what are some of the ways you deal?
Yeah, now stress is very prevalent to me. So like I know when stress is building up on me, like I automatically have like a shortness of breath and
Really?
chest compacts and shit like that. So like I know exactly when stress is coming down my turnpike. So for me, it's more so for sure is always air, something where you can feel like you breathe. You gotta get to the breathing patterns, making sure you have that correct. Because it just comes down to whenever you feel stressed, you start to shorten your breath.
Huh.
So you have to figure out a way to open up those the capacity for how much air you're giving yourself, so that you can work your way through that part. Another thing for me is like getting to the bottom of like trying to see something that's familiar, going through familiarity, and also a lot of times like reading or doing something new too, like that. That allows me to get outside of the space because it allows me to see like what it is that was stressing me. Like if I can see what is stressing me, then I can know how to get out of that stressful situation. But first things first, you have to be able to recognize. I've gotten way better at recognizing what's a stressful situation so that it doesn't creep up on me. Because that was like the worst shit if it was a creep up. Like that's the shit where you be at the hospital and like they ain't got no answers for you. They just like, my nigga, breathe. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like I can't.
My nigga breathe.
It's just like, nigga, give me an IV or give me some Rendon. I don't know what the fuck you need to give me, bro. Like I don't know.
Give me something.
Give me something, my nigga. Like let me. Shit, I don't know.
Any ways you two? Are
yeah,
you able to identify it?
yeah,
You are.
kind of the same situation. Like I had my first anxiety attack maybe 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it because I've always felt like I was good at managing like my levels and always staying cool, but my work schedule was off. Man, at the time I was going through a divorce, just got back from like closing that out,
Yeah.
and just everything was like, Yeah, you need to sit down for a second, buddy. And I was getting off on 6th in the city, and I felt that shot go down the side of my head. And in your mind, you're like, all right, is this a heart attack? Is this what? And you start to make it bigger than what it is. Pulled off to the side of the road, and first thing I did, which I probably shouldn't have did, I was like, and this is my fear. Like, I don't have, like, honestly, I don't have a fear of dying, but it's dying by myself or without somebody knowing.
Yeah, that's knowledge or someone else.
So I called my mom, and I was like, yeah, I'm just like, this is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Now the conversation's like, I'm gone, but I just want to let her know. So she started panicking, so I started panicking. The dude rolling past on the bike, he panicking. He looked in the window. He's like, yo, you need some help? I was like, yeah, bro, I don't even know what's going on. Like, so he called, took me to the hospital. Yeah, you're in the waiting room. They can't tell you what's wrong.
Trying all kind of positions.
Yeah.
I done laid on the ground, my feet up, like in the middle of the weight room. Like, my nigga, like, I don't, but whatever position I'm in is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some wind.
Yes. So I go through the same thing now, just trying to breathe.
Yeah.
Trying to identify certain things that trigger it.
Yeah.
Like driving starts to trigger it for some reason. Like I could just be having a good day and I'm on a driving and I could feel it creeping up.
Oh, wow.
It's a feeling like, here we go again. And you just try to figure out how to breathe and kind of get yourself back on track. And I've gotten better at it. But yeah, it's a weird feeling. It's like I feel like it's to some extent maybe a chemical thing as well, because that first big one, felt like it opened the door up and it changed my balance.
Really?
Now, like, I'll get these smaller ones. Even when I'm like,
It's an awareness factor.
yeah. So it's
Experiencing that before you get now you have triggers that can get you directly into that, as opposed to like whatever amount of years it might have took to build up to that point.
yeah.
Now it's like, oh, just small little.
Yeah.
Like how when you have an earthquake, now you have like the aftershocks.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, every now and then I have them lonely cries where I just let it out.
Yeah.
I just gotta release it.
Yeah.
Like, it's them ugly cries. You just like, damn, I just gotta let it flow.
Yeah.
So that's one way of like dealing with the stress. But the other is getting outside, taking a walk, and just taking in everything that's happening around me for perspective. And just carrying the camera. That's been a big stress reliever for me lately, is just being able to take shots of the life that's happening so that I can appreciate it.
That's big.
I think for me, the hardest part is noticing that I'm stressed. And I don't know if that comes from, like you guys said, just surviving and not living. And for so many years, a lot of people have always been the one to like depend on me for shit. And I always be like, I got it. So then it, like, my stress, my level of how much stress I could take is really high. But the problem is I don't notice even when it's starting to build up. And then when it gets almost to the point I break, if I break, it's all the way bad. So then that's when it's getting to the point where I'm like, holy fuck, I'm fucked up. Like, and for me, when I'm really stressed out, I get bad headaches, I get sick, I'll start throwing up and some more shit. So as soon as I see that, that's when I tell everybody, hey, I gotta take a break from everything and just sit back and recalculate for a couple of days. So I'm trying to figure out ways I can notice before I get all the way up there. And I have to be like John Taffer on Bar Rescue and just shut everything down. And I can just get to a point where it's like you said, I notice, sit back, breathe for 5-10 minutes instead of like having to take a full day off of everything and just chilling with Sid and just, like replacing my life.
What the I am athlete dialogue I thought was so important, because they were having a very, very eerily similar conversation. And Brent B. Marsh, he actually ended up in a facility during his stint. I'm so inspired by his courage, and to talk about it. I'll talk to you about your courage and like how many of us experience literally have anxiety attacks and just go on with their day. And you're like, wait a minute, like not only is that a normal part of the process of living, so much so that you shouldn't have to get to these high, ridiculous, build up these ridiculous thresholds and then just crumble. Like, to your point, and the aftershock effects, like, yo, just deal with each of them as they come, so they're not as massive. But there's never been space like this before, not and you've never had the language and the wherewithal and the tools, and I say it, and I hope you understand how important your fight is. So now I don't feel fucking crazy for crying, nigga. And like the traffic shit I relate to. Nigga, I've had some of the most epic cries in traffic. Mainly because I'm alone, but it's also, I hate traffic. Nigga, I hate it. Like, I do not like it. Like, I can ride in it and, like, be driven and shit, but driving in it's like, bro, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, it ain't no place in the world I want to get to bad enough to sit in traffic, bro. Like, that's how much I hate it. Like, for real. And partly it's so back to the whole survivor's guilt shit. The times that I do get stuck in traffic, I think about the people who do that shit every day, going and coming, and be like, I'm not built to work to work a part of this shit. Like, I'm just not.
Yeah, man.
I would lose my mind, nigga. I wake up when I want to. I walk to this motherfucker just so I can bypass traffic jams. Like. And so much of my stress, Push hit me the other day. He was like, bro, hey, you okay? You need anything? I'm like, man, I'm fine. What the fuck you talking about? He's like, bro, I just want you to slow down because you're doing a lot. He's like, nigga, you got payroll. I said, oh my God. It didn't even dawn on me. Like, that shit didn't even hit me, bro. So then he was like, bro, you pay people. Fuck, so much of my, like, as again, I would do this shit for free. I am still doing it for free. So, let me stop. I am still doing it. I would do all of this no matter if it was money or not. In the name of building a system, building an economy, money discussion, the relationship. My relationship with money has had to change. The information that I'm seeking, just how I view it, I've had to tell myself a completely different story, and completely reimagine that space. But so much of my stress and my original triggers, bruh, like, hey, Monty, ask for help. When you like, yo, I want to do the pod, you know, I just, literally, this is some new shit from therapy. I couldn't allow you to do it, bruh, because of how much trauma I carry from asking for shit when I was a kid. I love my parents to death. They didn't know no, but now I'm old enough to peep their relationships with their parents. The only reason their responses were the way that they were is because that's how they responded to when asking for help. You know I ain't got it. It's like, how the fuck I'm supposed to know? I'm 11. I don't know what's going on. All my other partners is getting this shit though. Like, it's just a simple question. And then they go, why you didn't ask me for help? Because I didn't want to have this awkward ass conversation and have this response when it's not that big a deal. I don't need it that bad. Whatever it was, I don't need it bad enough to sit with you tripping the fuck out. And displacing your stress because you stressed out because, and then now working with agencies, nigga, some of the top agencies in the world, my nigga, have been 3 months late on invoices. How are you and just hey man, my bad, we're gonna get to you. Oh, so if Facebook is going, hey fam, my bad, I know Auntie and them ain't got it for surely.
Net 90 terms.
Hey, and they mean it. They mean it. When they say net 90, nigga, they mean all 90 of them. But this is so fucked up. These were net 30. And they still coming in. You're in breach, fam. You're in absolute breach. Work with us. All right, now y'all sound like the homies outside, so it's good. But I just want everybody to know this hamster wheel shit of money ain't worth it to be flashing on your
I
kids.
have to
for.
rearrange a few things. The most common things that come in is for sure electricity, gas, all the, like the utility companies.
Man.
Them shits is covered no matter what.
matter
They're shutting
what.
your shit off.
Hey, ain't no grace.
That
period
and
on
then
that.
whatever property tax you have. Like those are the most consistent things that you go have. So they like, I'm gonna see, I'm gonna work some things around. You know, we gotta. What's the name about to go gold soon? So.
What?
No, so
Oh,
when
no.
I was
Now
you cut it at.
the breathing though. Shout out to Elisha, and she just recently left her job and started her company. So did B Simmons. B Simmons is full-time music now. Salute to him. I'm just watching the homies make these transitions, but it's all in the space of wellness first. How much we can accomplish if we're well first. Fuck your talent. You hustling, nigga? Are you healthy? Have you slept? Are you eating? Are you hydrated? Let's start there. It's been a really hard conversation to have with artists too, because they're like, yo, what's the secret? Wellness.
Yeah.
This shit is not in the name of fame at all, because if you're not well, it's not going to work.
For sure.
It's not sustainable. You can have your moment. You could be lit for sure.
Yeah.
I see niggas put together some moments and be lit and get 100,000 followers over a summer. Get a million listens on Spotify in a matter of months. Have at it. But if you are not well, guess what? None of it'll matter.
It's built on a faulty foundation.
Come on, bro.
And everybody be talking about, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that. No, man, just take care of yourself right now.
Yeah.
Everything else will fall in place.
Bruh, it's so true. Your ability to show up, how you show up, that's the ascending part. Nigga, anybody that needs you to do the self work, get them the fuck away from around you ASAP. Cause they're impeding your the tinkering you need to do with self, and they're not respecting it, and they're not adding no value. We all got hella work to do, bro. The last thing I need to do is come impede on, hey Lex, you doing your tour days right now, bro? You need anything? Yeah, nigga, for you to get on your tour days. How about that? All right. So you white? Oh, yeah, nigga, Morg was so juiced. I got my watch. He said, nigga, I'm giving you till Monday. I'm on your ass, nigga. Challenge, expect a challenge every day. My only type of friends I want. Floyd and Javante's corner last night. Hey, fam, you're down on the scorecard. No, I'm not. Nigga, I'm watching the fight. You're down on the scorecard. Oh, bet. I'm on it. Them the type of people you need around you. Make sure you in fighting shape, because this shit about to get crazy before it get cool.
Yeah. What? This shit is about to be crazy no matter what state of mind you are in, that shit's about to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like it's important that you have the wherewithal to then withstand it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's some people can hit this thing hit the ground running, and that shit never affect them, and that's literally comes from one, knowing self, and then for two, taking care of self. Once you know self, then you can take care of it, you know. But like folks be trying to bypass that shit and just jump right to nigga being on and having all these things come in and having people. Once people start depending on you, best believe your shit ain't slowing down no time soon. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment somebody depend on you, whether you got a child, whether you got employee, whether you got a manager, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know who the hell you got.
You got a whole staff over there. You
know what I'm
got.
saying? Like once you got folks that's dependent on you, then you automatically have to be in go drive. You might want to take care of your shit before then, or while that's taking place. But you might want to carve out some time. You know what I mean? But I think people do that when they get into themselves. I just want to say one more thing. My bad. Another good thing I learned too is water. Drink fucking water. Man. Like you drink.
The healing component. Shout out Mick. Mick is a fucking legend for that, bro.
Drink that motherfucking water, bro. Like best believe if you going through one of those like attacks or whatever, or you feel like it's coming up or whatever, drink water. Allow your body to focus on something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And most of your body is made up of that shit. Drink that shit. Allow yourself to run out whatever toxins, whatever it is. But allow your body to work on something else,
Absolutely.
and then that'll allow you to find that air passage or whatever, and that shit'll calm the fuck down. So that's just something that I've had to do trial and error to be like, okay, all right, I'm listening.
Stay hydrated. That content rabbit hole and just in general, there's so many creators doing amazing things. We spoke about Revolt the other day. All Black Network, shout out to them. They reissued Love Is, Akil, Mara, salute to y'all. Some of the most beautiful storytelling as far as like the Black lens is concerned. Kev on Stage, 85 South, like it's a lot of really dope creators. Art Comes First, shout out to the homies. Hopefully get to collab with them very soon. And Joe, I want to salute Joe for weathering the storm, making the transition to Patreon. He's getting killed in the comments on YouTube. I love that juxtaposition though, where the uninformed are going, Joe's getting killed in the numbers and the ratings, and Bresh just transitioned over to like only dealing with his Patreons. And so the numbers reflect that. But that's not the conversation everybody's having because it's an optics race. Cool. In the process, Rory and Maul are doing insane numbers. They're doing like 200,000 within the first hour and a half of being uploaded. It's pretty impressive.
And it's tastefully done, man. The aesthetic is just
They did a great
fly.
fucking job with all the shit around it.
Yeah.
Yo, the branding on the mics, like just the small details, what it takes to make a production.
The logo was amazing.
The logo is amazing, and like, salute to Joe and whoever the team was to give him the sound bites that they needed to make the brand. Like, that seems like a good business transaction that they did.
Yeah. It came with turmoil, it came with tension, but studying the E-Myth, the best companies, no matter if they had a quarter in the black or not, they seek out the tension in order to keep scaling. And I'm grateful for them weathering that storm as friends. I know that their friendships were in jeopardy. I imagine it won't be the same, but business not being impeded and everybody being able to earn, grow, and go express themselves, more importantly. They had been outgrowing the show for a minute. And they're both way more tapped in than Joe even allows himself to be as he wants to move away from music. And that's some shit he's going to have to work through too, because Joe's one of the more exceptional contributors to music we've ever had. And not getting those flowers hurts. So hopefully he'll acknowledge that one day and it'll allow him to reintroduce himself to music. But Rory and Maul are knee deep in some of the most excellent music being released. Maul works with St. John people. Maul works with Griselda. Like, Emotional Oranges is fucking awesome.
Yep.
Masego is
That was a
killing
great
it.
fucking interview, by the way, for Emotional Oranges.
Yeah.
That was a great job from Rory on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All their interviews, the conversations with Justice and
Oh,
Earl.
bro,
and-
Earl, like, to get Earl to talk like
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Earl obviously don't be talking either.
yeah.
Earl wasn't facing the camera. I think it was on his phone.
He had his
bro.
back
Is
to
there-
everybody.
Is there a camera even rolling? I was, okay, that makes sense. Let me talk to you real quick for a second. I bet I'm back to my phone though. That nigga's funny, man.
Yeah, they added a whole other component.
Yeah, and I think their thing is gonna be a lot freer, of course. I think it's gonna be a lot of mixtures of different things to allow that to transpire the way it needs to. So that it looks dope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're new to it. They're new to it being all on them. So that's gonna be, I feel like there's some leeway or some leash on what the content is gonna be. At some point, they're gonna have to grow outside of club experiences, but that's what they're saying isn't so much as important to me as like how they're coming across, like how they're being perceived, all the money or all the thought that goes into making everything, like you said, tasteful. You know what I mean? Like the aesthetic being tasteful. I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be their thing. You know, I think theirs is more of like a
Yeah.
something cool to be around or be associated with. I think
Totally.
that's
Yeah.
a good angle.
I agree, and just they're concise with the conversation, right? Like Joe is 3 hours out of your day to listen to an entire episode. An hour-long conversation is good enough for that format that they have. So, yeah, the fact that they're playing with it and making it something that feels original to who they are,
To them, yeah.
is an important, I think, in terms of a rollout and like this being your introduction to this is what our platform is going to be creating.
I sent them the first episode. I was like, this shit is trash, and it was more so still frustrated by the amount of backlash that Joe was getting. But I didn't even understand his play. He's like, yeah, I'm not worried about none of this backlash, fam. I took the subscribers that wanted to go to Patreon, and trust me, this bag is fine.
You got me as a subscriber.
Hey,
So,
they all did though. Like
Yeah.
Rory and Maul did put their paywall up for Vimeo. I gladly paid for that episode, and they did 2 million views that day at $1. Come on, man. Like
$2.
$2. That's what it was. $2. So, you know, it's just. I'm really, really, really happy for creatives thinking on that scale, and creatives that are black too, and that represent the culture in a really dope way.
You Rory a black card finally?
I'm not. I'm giving Rory a culture card because he is tapped in and he really gives a fuck about art.
But he's a redhead though.
But he's a gringo still though.
we need to see him cap a step on these new interviews.
Rory, you got a challenge.
Definitely need to cap his step.
If he gets his Kappa step off, I think we can officially go and give him his pass. Then I think that's rightfully so. You know,
Can you forget a Kappa step?
nigga, all that shit they go through, they better not.
I was about to say, they might get shot if they forget that
Yeah,
shit.
nah, I would hope not. All that shit they go through. Rick and Morty season 5, what we doing? Ozark season 4, what we doing?
What?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
This is the 5 drop yours tonight.
Nah, season 5, first episode dropped.
Rick and Morty tonight.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good too.
It's always good.
Yes.
Like, Rick and Morty is like the most
They don't
consistent-
miss. They
most
don't miss.
consistent
They
thing
don't
out.
miss. They don't miss. Ozark, how we feeling? We nervous?
okay.
When that drop?
I ain't
I'm
nervous.
excited.
I don't know. I haven't seen a date yet. I haven't seen a date. I just saw Killer Mike is making a
Pushing
cameo.
it. They keep pushing it back. It was supposed to come out a while back, and then it was like, we're gonna postpone it.
That was probably the COVID thing. I saw like how the I still watch The Walking Dead, of course, but
Jesus, still.
I know it's last season though, so trust me, I'm almost out of that contract. But I saw how like they did like because they have like the extras to it for like behind the scenes and like during the COVID or whatever, and like having like how they were able to work around doing the scenes of having less people on camera, so the story, you know, like there was more air in the work that was done. So I'm wondering if that was some of the thing that took place, or if they just put it on hold for like Ozark throughout 2020, or how they were doing it.
Those are my criticisms of if I had any of Ozark, was when they had to do the bigger scenes that involved more people. Didn't really care for those. Like when they were trying to open the casino,
You know, on the-
and they're
on the lake and
on the
stuff,
boat. It's like But whenever it's scaled down, and they get man, those scenes are just so they're bodying it. That's nitpicking, but
I'm just ready for this battle of the people that got the land
Yeah.
and whatever my man doing now with the cartel cat, man. Like it's because they got the lawyer up out of here.
Yo, his lawyer really thought she was getting out.
for real though.
Everybody got an expiration date, man. Like that's it.
You know what? I
That's
think
good.
I'm gonna watch season 3 again, just to be.
It's important. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit.
A lot took place.
But there's a lot of shows that's ending this in the next year.
This
or
Is
two.
Us is gonna end.
Yeah,
Ozark
man.
is gonna end. This is it for Rick and Morty as well, too, right?
I think they said
Rick and Morty in the back.
I think
like
so.
they were talking out. You know, they might change.
I would love for them to leave on a high note
Well,
like
yeah.
that, because
Well-
it's hard to. I don't want them to get into the where Family Guy and all that stuff would go to.
Let me issue a challenge for the show then. Since if this is the end of Rick and Morty, we go to Comic-Con and do an episode from there this year. 'Cause
Shit,
I've been wanting to go. This feels like a good reason to go. Like Rick and Morty it served me well. I haven't been a fan of a animation show like this since Boondocks, I guess.
I'm with it.
It'd be fun.
Let's get it.
Couple more things. OnlyFans. What's your people down here doing, Lex? What the fuck?
They stepping on the dope. They saying they want to get away from the porn. They stepping on the dope.
Oh, now they're trying to go. Now they're trying to PC it up. Huh?
They talking about they trying to let go of some of that and try to find funding so they can make it more.
Well, they did find a really dope Patreon sort of space for content creators where the soldiers and all them people figured out how to just do shit on there and specifically tap into, their demos. So it makes sense, but the porn industry is for sure going, hey fam, look here. Like,
You stepping on the dope.
yeah.
That's all it is.
And you think if you think political pressure is sick, the porn industry been the leading industry for how long? You start fucking with their money, it could get spooky.
Yeah, you don't want a whole bunch of niggas running up on you and beating you to death with dildos and shit.
Oh, get beat down by a dildo,
Beat
bro.
to death.
Take me that day.
A flogging.
Yeah, like I don't want to die by the dildo, but I need after I get beat up by the dildo, I need somebody to take me out for getting beat up by the
Literally.
dildo. Like that's what I need.
Literally, kill me now.
Fuck up.
Kill me now.
Open up the casket, you just see a whole bunch of dick imprints on their face.
Damn.
Yeah, what happened to him? Do we
Nah,
even want to
put the makeup on me, fam. Don't you dare have dick prints in my face, bro. Hey, give me the makeup.
a dick print to the face is crazy.
A dildo dick print. Don't give me that to the face, man.
With that, I don't know how y'all feel. This McAfee shit is kind of terrifying. So we can attempt to talk about it.
I read that all wrong.
I'm gonna leave
I
that.
read that as the McCafe. I'm like, you're talking about the coffee at McDonald's? I read that all wrong.
We can. I'm happy to have the combo,
I'm
but
scared to talk about
I'm just gonna put it out there. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so I got introduced to John McAfee, like the person, right? I knew about the McAfee antivirus, because he did what they call in the investment world, like he bought a shell company, and I invested in it, and it shot through the roof, and I made some money. So I was like, oh, okay, let me figure out about this cat. This cat was on the edge.
oh yeah.
He was the definition of living. Like, he lived his life to the fullest. So yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it before the suicide.
Hey, for the listeners, air quote.
Big quotes. And then we talked about it afterwards. I mean, he's the information. So if you look at his Twitter,
That's what fucked me up. The Twitter, the sort of like letter he leaves, essentially.
yeah. So he's like telling the world how these foreign companies put agents into the tech world, and how they may go through 3 or 4 generations of lineage just to get one person into a manager role where they have control. And it was kind of like, yo, like, why isn't this a bigger story?
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, if they say it's suicide, believe it's not me.
Yeah.
And then it's like, whoa.
That's crazy. Haven't they been doing that since like the Soviet Union though, for like the government,
Yeah.
for, like the government and shit like that?
Yeah.
What was the Russian spy couple? You put me on that show. What was
Americans, bro. That's just
Americans.
fucking
That's
amazing.
bruh, epic show.
Yeah.
I stopped watching it too.
Yeah, I stopped that too.
It was
I
getting
think
too
because
crazy.
because The Walking Dead is so amazing. So
Oh shit!
I got caught up in that. Watch out for the zombie apocalypse.
You probably gonna watch the Son of Canaan too.
Hey, I've seen a
Yeah,
lot of
those do not
disrespect.
go to-
That was disrespect.
Yeah, those do not come in.
You probably gonna watch the Son of Canaan. I knew it. I knew it.
Nah, I'm not doing any more commitments like that, boy. That is
Oh,
my
man.
longest commitment to date.
So there, how many terabytes of information did he say he was sitting on?
31, 32.
Something crazy.
Something
It's
crazy.
yeah.
A lot of fucking information.
It's like 30, 31, 32 terabytes of information about the CIA, about all of the agencies we swear by that are protecting us. We got 32 terabytes of information on all of them. If something happened to me, they called his bluff. I want to see it.
Well, do you guys think that maybe a lot of the people that it did get sent out to, they're like, well, I seen what happened to him, so just gonna push this to the side.
Yeah, but
I don't know if they think like that though.
I mean, hopefully send it to someone like Edward Snowden.
man, for sure.
Yeah, you gotta think about folks in those positions. They've actually
Vetted the right people. Yeah.
no. They've also created in their mind that they are like a representative of the United, like of this land. You know, so like they've drank the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? So I think once they get that information, it doesn't matter if you killed them. They literally want other people to know about. Like that's literally signing up for this for your lifetime. Like you have to have a certain level of separation from all this shit to fathom some of the things that are possible.
Exactly.
And when this shit hits some people's minds, they're like, oh no, I have to like the entire the sky is no longer blue. You know what I mean? Like it's as if they've been sniffing roses the entire time and like really be eating up whatever the government says to them. Yeah. So I definitely see it being able to go further. You know.
So how do you deal with that type of stress? When you realize it's all connected and your whole world is about to be blown up.
You see, it ain't nobody black on that spectrum, bro. It's like we can't have that level of stress, bro. Like we got enough going on. We can't also have like this.
That's y'all motherfuckers.
Hey, black people are so far away from that shit. Hey, that's why it's only a few black people that can deal with politics like that. Like that's why we don't do that shit.
Obama ruined that for everybody. It's when you the whole black don't crack thing and the look and all the shit. Once they put that side by side, my bro, if it's a look after them 8 years, it's like,
bro,
ain't nobody fucking with politics.
Then also the amount of fun that he showed once
Immediately.
He was hanging out with Richard Branson.
He wasn't even out of office. Like this man is on skis.
Yeah.
Like he doing all kind of shit.
Bro,
like he's on the he's doing like the water skiing and shit like that. Like he was having a great fucking time.
The last few months of his term, he was hosting a black tie party every week. Like, hey, nigga, this our last. It's the equivalent. That's when, because his whole term was kind of like, I don't know if I fuck her, bro. But then at the end, like a pure nigga, he like, hey, bro, we ain't gonna be here this much longer. Run it up.
We gonna run it up.
Everybody
On the way out.
on the way out. That's how
way
niggas
out.
do. Hey, nigga, hey, look here. I got the rental for a few more days.
That's
nigga.
it.
You can drive it if you want to.
That's it, man. Party over here, man.
That's hilarious, man.
Tell security I sent you, man.
I think we got to most of it. Y'all miss anything? Y'all got anything? Get it off your chest.
No.
Nah.
Oh, I'm gonna say it on the pod.
Oh shit.
Shouts out to Jonel.
Uh-oh.
Because this nigga did my website, and all of a sudden now people hitting me. So I'm guessing the price is going up.
You fucking right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Value.
Yes, it is.
Value.
Nah, the website is everything Jonel does is fucking fire though.
Yeah.
Just with the greatest touch and like chef's kiss. Just like this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to feel like, be immersive. And this is how you activate and push your line. Like it's gotta always look like that. That's what you stand for. Whenever y'all hear Uplifters Power in the episode, that's what we're speaking to. Culturally being tapped in and understanding how to speak directly to us in a space that we've never been spoken to before. And that's in branding and marketing. We at the NFT, the fifth story NFT at the Tribune building, one of the cooler moments is standing there with Jonel. We're looking at Rough Draft's photo and being like, yo, this is what marketing to black folks should look and feel like. It was just a beautiful moment and being like, damn, why does this resonate so much? It's larger than life. It's black. It's hella black and it's in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing pops more than the image of a black person in black and white just so bold and in your face. It's like, this is the language. This is the look. This is the style. And immediately he diagnosed all that shit just like a fucking computer, like some Goodwill Hunting shit. It's like, that's what it is. Like, damn. It's so dope, though. It's amazing.
I called you up what, Friday? I had to tell him the exact same thing. I was like, dude, this is what I see you doing. Like, just off some, like, I see the potential. Someone told me that it's one of the greatest compliments when someone calls you up and says, man, I can see you doing this, because they think that much of you.
Yeah. And I think we all can speak from like benefiting from your expertise, and it's so funny because it's mainly about how you show up, but it's also all the work you do and all the studying you do, definitely, but it's just how you show up and how attentive you are to other people's feats and visions, and you go, bro, do this, and you do it, you're like, man, that was brilliant, you know. So thank you, bro, on air, and just it's dope to give the people context too. Thank you for doing that, Lex.
Thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all just made me realize my value right now. Thank you. But Lex it was your time, man. You've been helping all of us.
Yep.
Me, this pod, working together as co-producers, co-executive producers, whatever that means. But yeah, man. Lex does so much for all of us, and I think it was important for you to see your creation be brought to life and let people know that this is a business that's going to be here for a very, very long time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. With that being said, yeah, man, if people listen to this tomorrow, we'll be hearing a lot or seeing a lot about the listening event we're doing for Kev's album tonight. Do not be alarmed, y'all. This is just part of the tweaking and critiquing phase. So the people invited tonight are just people we respect their affinity for music, and we had such a great time playing it in LA and getting feedback, man. And more importantly, we had a really fucking great time addressing all the notes that we were given. For example, shout out Zach. We listened in Too Short Studio. He was like, yo, man, this would be tight. I just wish y'all mids were a little bit more present. And fuck if he wasn't right. We went back to the lab and started tweaking the mids. And then shout out Two Fly. He gave me immediately, he was like, bro, what you producing on? Like, he diagnosed it before I even get the words out. You using Ableton, huh? Oh, but you use a machine? Oh, but this is what you need to do. I'm like, yo. So that whole narrative of people not giving up the game, that shit is false, bro. Them niggas was glad, like, told me what to do and then saw that I didn't write it down and was like, no, let me show you so you know I'm not capping. No, buy this, run it through this, from your computer back through this, and then, like, yeah, bro, that's how we mixed the Kanye album. Like I'm not just telling you shit. Like, go apply it. So this is really Grand National's extension of the olive branch and going, nah, this is all immersive. We've been saying it over and over again. If you resonate with the collective at all, immerse yourself in it and identify as it. I hope you feel comfortable enough going, yo, no, I am Grand National too. That's the whole point. Building a community and just trying to really imagine an infrastructure and an industry here and to the likes of Atlanta and LA, and how everybody can thrive and generate revenue there. There's enough of us here to do so. There's enough of us here with really great ideas, and now we even have a platform and access to go shop said ideas. So although last week was challenging, through the tension and through the hard conversations, I'm even more excited about building here than ever before. So with that. We love y'all. Glad to be back. I miss my dogs. It was only a week off. That shit felt so long. Yo, I don't know. I won't speak for everybody. But I was like, I got lucky and seen you. I ain't seen L in hella long. So it was I on everything. I really did miss you guys, and glad that we got to do it in studio today. And shit, we missed the listeners too, and especially people getting pressed on the street is different. That's like niggas in your face, like my nigga, what's up with this? Why with no podcast this week?
Motherfuckers FaceTime me, just hey nigga, I'm trying to see when it drop, and it ain't dropped. So is it a late drop? What niggas doing?
Like I'm scrolling my phone, my man. And like I don't know if they hiding it from me. Hey, what's the name of it again? Like, did y'all change the name?
Hey, nah, bro. Thank y'all, man. Just that's it. Like, literally, bro. Like walking outside and niggas being like, "Fam, the pod, y'all doing it." I'm like, the conversations. My goddad is going to kill me because he said, "Hey, I don't want no recognition," because he was literally responding to our fuck the credit. And at the beginning of the fuck the credit, I gave this nigga big kudos and was like, "Nah, bro, you the reason." This nigga double backed and called me. He was like, "Hey, don't call me back and don't say this shit on the show." All right, goddad, I like you. Thank you for rocking, bro, because it means a lot. Like, safe space for black folks, but for men to know that they're supported and working through shit, and everybody got ideas and have had setbacks and shit to overcome, bro. We all in it together and like building that community. And I feel like this was a very great launching pad for so many relationships that have morphed into something that have some real true equity attached to them. So thank y'all. Thank our listenership. YouTube, continue to subscribe. It's getting crazy. Thank y'all so much, man.
Love.
Yes.